Thank you, Hugh. Hello, everyone. Morocco will come out swinging, so says their head coach, Walid Regragui, whose tenure only began in August. Today, he has the chance to lead his country into a World Cup quarter-final for the first time ever. As for Spain, there's a desperate hope that they didn't peak in their very first game of the tournament. The 7-0 win over Costa Rica preceded a real stumble to qualification for the knockouts. Well, the two sides, Morocco, Bono in goal, Hakimi, Agard, Saiss and Mazraoui the defenders, Unahi, Amrabat and Amala in midfield, Ziyech and Boufal either side of En-Nesyri up front. For Spain, Unai Simon the goalkeeper, Llorente, Rodri, Laporte and Jordi Alba, Gavi, Busquets and Pedri in the middle, Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo either side of Asensio through the middle. We know the identity of 6 of the 8 sides who will feature in the World Cup quarter-finals. Just 2 places remain up for grabs, with Portugal and Switzerland to do battle later on. We start under the lights at Education City for Morocco against Spain. Can the North African side write some World Cup history, or will Spain seize the chance of a first last 8 spot at this tournament since their glory year of 2010? Well, both sides are just about ready to get underway. The Morocco players going into a huddle ahead of kick-off. They are in their traditional colours, red and green shirts, green shorts and red socks. And for Spain, a change kit tonight, sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks. The vast majority of the crowd tonight are supporting the Moroccan players, so there are plenty of Spain supporters here as well. And it will be Spain to get this last 16 tie underway. They will play from left to right in the first half, and Morocco will play from right to left. The time for talking for both sides is over. The time for action is now. A place in the last 8 of the World Cup at stake. It is Morocco against Spain, and we are off and underway on Talk Sport. And an early touch for Aymeric Laporte, square ball to his club and country teammate Rodri, again playing at the heart of the Spain defence tonight, and a high diagonal ball out towards the far side. Dani Olmo brings it down, and Jordi Alba feeds Laporte on the halfway line. Alba caught straight away by Chelsea's Hakim Ziyech, and the Morocco man shrugs his shoulders towards the referee, Fernando Rapellini of Argentina. No doubt, though, it was a Spain free kick inside the first 30 seconds. The former Ireland World Cup striker, Tony Cascarino, is alongside me. Tony, a very good evening.
Good evening, Joe, and everybody out there against a really interesting game between these two. Both playing 4 at the back. Straight away we see Ziyech make a challenge on Dani Alba. No nonsense start from him. The whistles go round the stadium because Spain have the ball.
Amazing noise, isn't it, Tony? We're going to hear this throughout the 90 minutes, and we may need extra time and or penalties as well. The Morocco fans have built up a reputation for their fervour as this tournament has gone on, but there are Spain flags being waved in the crowd as well. And the cheers from the Morocco supporters as their side win it back, and it's with Noussair Mazraoui 10 yards shy of the halfway line. The winners will play the winner of the Portugal against Switzerland tie, which will bring you full commentary of later on. And I say good evening, of course, it's good afternoon to everybody back home, but we are into the early evening in the Qatari desert. Again, a very warm, humid evening as Spain look to make slightly the faster start of the two sides in these very early stages. Spain, who since winning the World Cup in 2010 have not progressed beyond the round of 16. Morocco looking to get beyond this stage of the tournament for the first time in their history. It's their first match at this stage for 36 years.
Well, one battle I'm really looking forward to today is Dani Olmo up against Hakimi. The player from PSG, a really good attacking right back.
Spain enjoying much of the possession in the early stages. Rodri's got it on the halfway line, and now Marcos Llorente, as we expected, playing it right back as he did for Spain at the Euros, and that is the preferred position for him under Luis Enrique. And Spain have it on the halfway line again with Rodri. Gets the ball from Pedri, And Rodri with his shirt tucked in, square to Llorente on the near side of the field. Morocco standing off Spain in the early stages until they reach opposition territory, at which point Sofiane Boufal, the former Southampton player, puts a firm but fair challenge in. Luis Enrique on the near side, the Spain boss, just telling his side to keep calm in possession. They're certainly doing that in these early stages, albeit most of the possession is being had by the Spanish centre-halves, actually. A lot of touches for Rodri and Laporte on the halfway line, but very little in terms of any hint of a half chance for Spain in the first 3 minutes or so. It remains Morocco 0, Spain 0, live on Talk Sport. Llorente angled pole to the near side of the field, knocked back to him quickly by Ferran Torres, and now Laporte in the centre circle. Well, the pattern of play is certainly set inside these first few minutes here, Tony Cascarino.
Well, it's pretty obvious that Spain are going to dominate possession. You know, the centre-halves, like you touched on, Joe, getting on the ball, moving it. It looks like it's going to be that most of the night.
The ball is with Aguerd, the West Ham and Morocco defender, inside his own penalty area, and now shuffled forward towards the halfway line by Hakimi, towards Unani with the white boots on. He appeals for a throw, but it goes the way of Spain. Hughes just pointed out, Tony, that the pitch, again, like many surfaces at this World Cup, not particularly impressive. It's bobbly in areas, it's cut up in areas as well. Is it a slightly slow surface that both sides are going to have to negotiate tonight, I wonder?
Well, at the start of the tournament, the pitches were really slick and the ball just seemed to run out of play quite easily. This certainly looks a little bit more bobblier there, but they'll be fine. These are highly technical, gifted players, so I don't think they affect the players too much.
Spain continue to hold on to the ball almost exclusively in the first 4.5 minutes. You can hear the near constant whistles of the Morocco fans. Their side have hardly had a kick, but they will do now with Unahi finding Ziyech, who breaks over the halfway line, and Unahi plays it to the right again. Ziyech will tear forward. He's got there in front of Laporte, but Ziyech's touch is heavy in front of those baying thousands of Morocco fans behind the goal to the left-hand side, and it's out of play for a goal kick to Spain. He does, though, get the thumbs up from his head coach, Walid Regragui, who is a fascinating character, spoke in 4 languages during yesterday's pre-match press conference, a very impressive figure. It's just his 7th game in charge of the national side. He was brought in August after the departure of the previous head coach, Vahid Halilhodzic, who had a falling out with a number of the senior Morocco players. And what an impact Regragui has made in such a short space of time. Llorente though for Spain, near side there right, sliding in to make a challenge was Roman Saiss, the Morocco skipper. Out of play it goes for a goal kick to Morocco, 0-0.
Well, Roman Saiss done really well there. He spotted the run by Llorente down the right side, intercepted it, and then just ran out for a goal kick. So Morocco starting play again.
And now, Tony, he's just shown me a graphic that suggests that Spain have had 100% of the possession so far. Now, that's not quite the case, but I tell you what, it's not far off.
Yeah, I sort of expected Spain to dominate. They have players who want to keep the ball in every position.
Here's a chance for Boufal, though, crossing towards the near post, flipped away by Laporte, back-heeled away from danger, not entirely convincingly. Boufal again causing trouble on the near side, twisting and turning. He's wrestled to the ground, cleared away by Sergio Busquets, a miscontrol on the near side by Ferran Torres, and the throw goes the way of Morocco, now midway inside Spanish territory, and they're certainly enjoying possession now, the side in red and green, playing from right to left.
Well, there's possession with purpose, and so far Spain haven't had that. They've kept the ball but not really took advantage of the positions and moving it forward.
The possession will only get you so far. And Spain, who are so outstanding in their first group game against Costa Rica, put 7 past them, but then held by Germany, beaten by Japan. It was a very nervy qualification, ultimately into the knockout stages for Luis Enrique's side. Remember, Portugal against Switzerland will bring you live commentary of later on. The final last 16 tie, that is live at 7 o'clock. And England in action against France on Saturday. Again, commentary on Talk Sport from 7, and much more to come in the quarter-finals before all of that. Good turn though by Pedri for Spain, midway inside the Morocco half. Spain playing almost in Manchester City colours tonight, the sky blue and white. Not unfamiliar to see Laporte in that sort of colour. Gets it back from Jordi Alba on the halfway line. Now Rodri square to Gavi, the number 9. 18 years and 123 days old, Gavi. The youngest player to play in a World Cup knockout match since Pelé in the 1958 final. And Pelé was not yet 18 the day that match dawned.
Well, I was on the building site at 18. And this lad's playing football.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. I was doing my A-levels. Here's Ferran Torres caught in the penalty area, trying to twist and jink and turn. He looks to flick it into the feet of Marco Asensio, but across came the bald-headed Sofiane Amrabat, who is a tough tackling and combative defensive midfield player. He is tripped by Gavi, and Morocco win a free kick inside their penalty area. We've had 8.5 minutes here, live on TalkSport, and a very cagey start to this last 16 tie. It remains Morocco 0, Spain 0.
Well, Joe, you mentioned the colours of the Spanish kit, and it is exactly like Man City. And they've started, as Man City do, dominating the ball, keeping it, moving it. But interesting, I see the job's going to be a very selfless one tonight for the centre forward from Morocco, El-Nasseri, trying to get on the ball. He's very isolated, but they do break with pace, especially out wide, Morocco.
Well, it'll be interesting to see Spain in particular, the way that they've set up again. Marco Asensio darting through the middle. At times he'll play like a false 9. Alvaro Morata left on the bench despite 3 goals in 3 of the World Cup so far. Here is Llorente 10 yards into opposition territory in that right-sided position. And now a little touch to Pedri from Laporte. Pedri crossing from the left to the centre and into the centre circle now. Rodri square to Laporte again. And Spain allowed to have possession until they reach that attacking third, and then Amrabat in to whip it off the toes of Asensio. And he plays it back to the goalkeeper Bono, and Bono will clear high and long the number 1. Up downfield, the header away by Rodri, and Spain have it back straight away. But Spain aren't exactly being prolific with their possession so far. Not a great deal of productivity about their time on the ball. Morocco have it back. Boufal, left of centre, blocked off by Llorente. Was he fouled by Gavi? He was. It was a shove in the back of Sofiane Boufal, and there will be a free kick to Morocco, left of centre, and I think just about within shooting range, Tony Cascarina.
Yeah, well, initially I thought it was a foul by Boufal on Busquets, but the referee waved play on, and then Gavi makes the slightest of touches on Boufal's back, and he goes to ground, an exaggerated fall. The referee's pointed to a free kick in a decent area from Morocco.
Achraf Hakimi and Hakim Ziyech, 2 of Morocco's best-known players, have come across. And Ziyech, who scored in the matchday 3 win over Canada in the group stages, having capitalised on an error by the opposition goalkeeper. But this is a much sterner task, though, from range here against Unai Simon. Probably just over 25 yards from goal, beneath the floodlights here, with the sun long having set in the Qatari desert. It's another humid evening. The air conditioning vents are on. The Morocco fans on their feet behind the goal, wearing their replica shirts, and many of them have got their cameras ready to capture the moment. Will it be Ziyech or will it be Hakimi? Hakimi to curl it right-footed, and it's a couple of yards or so over the top of the bar. And despite not having much of the ball, Morocco easily there, going the closest of either team so far, 0-0.
Well, Hakimi hits the ball with the inside of his right foot, just dipping, but just goes over the bar, and I think he's done the right thing. I think I'd want to test Simon, because he's made a couple of parries, hasn't kept hold of the ball in earlier games in this, certainly in the group stages. So I think they did the right thing there. Hakimi just couldn't get it on target.
Forward comes Spain at the other end now. Opportunity for Jordi Alba to cross from the dead ball line. Hooks it up high. Towering header clear by Saiss at the middle of the Morocco defence. Little flick by Unahi, but straight back into possession of Sergio Busquets, who is making his 17th appearance at a World Cup tonight. And that equals the Spanish record set by Iker Casillas and Sergio Ramos. Bono, the goalkeeper, under pressure here from Asensio. Had to be careful. Got lucky, I think, really. Managed to touch it forward to Saiss, who nudged it to the left-back position, and Mazraoui, who wins a throw. But Bono, hesitant and nervous on the ball, and he just about, the goalkeeper, got away with it, Tony.
Well, he did, Bono, there. He took a touch, and got to be honest, I thought Asensio nearly got to him. It was a split-second decision. His touch just got away from him, but luckily for him, he just regained possession. Slight chance there for Asensio to just nick it.
Morocco fans bouncing up and down in the stands. One of them has got a huge drum. And Bono, we had that bizarre incident, didn't we, on match day 2 against Belgium, where the goalkeeper came out for the pre-match national anthems and then came off before the game even started, so he didn't officially play that game despite being in the team photo and in the anthems before it started, Tony.
Yeah, some strange things happen. Well, I don't know what to say about that, Joe.
It's bizarre, isn't it? And a relic of the Morocco group stage campaign. They're in the last 16 now, and 0-0 against Spain, and you have to say Morocco tactically have started confidently again. They haven't tasted defeat in this tournament so far, remember. Back it goes to Agard, midway inside his own half, and now Bono, the goalkeeper. Short sleeves on, dark purple kit, clears long, chips it high up the middle. The flick by Boufal, Rodri beats him to it. Amazing that Rodri, for all of his quality at Manchester City, cannot play in his preferred position at a World Cup for Spain, though, of course, Busquets is the king, really, of that holding midfield role, and his long spell and success in the Spain side proves that. Hakimi forward towards the halfway line, and it's nudged to the left-hand side now, and Mazraoui feeds Boufal further wide, hugging the touchline, and Mazraoui's continued his run on the underlap. He can dig out a high cross, deep to the far post, goalkeeper underneath it, and Unai Simon does well, takes it high above Youssef En-Nesyri, and it remains goalless on TalkSport. Morocco against Spain with just over 14 minutes gone.
Yeah, long hanging cross. Simon come and collects it comfortably. Just watching Rodri on the ball. Saw him at Crystal Palace in the Premier League for City player, centre half. I thought he played ever so well on the day. He's very capable. All the things he knew to do. He keeps the ball technically. He's good in the air, which he's already shown when headers, and he's calm and composed.
Croatia against Brazil and the Netherlands against Argentina tomorrow, on Friday rather, on TalkSport. Both those matches back to back on Friday on TalkSport. It will be some start to the quarter-final lineup, and still to come tonight, Portugal against Switzerland. Either of those two sides will play either Morocco or Spain in their quarter-final match on Saturday, and then following that we've got commentary of France against England. Here is the diminutive Gavi crossing the halfway line, ball angled out to the near side. He gets it back from Ferran Torres. Gavi already a little streak of mud on the back of his sky blue shirt. Pedri infield to Dani Olmo, good quick feet away from Amrabat, but Morocco have a clear tactical plan as they sit deep, allow Spain to enjoy possession, and then they finally press when Spain reach that final third. It's with Pedri trying to hold the ball up down by the corner of the penalty area. Jordi Alba threads it through one red shirt, but not beyond two of them. It's knocked out of play inadvertently by Unahi, and Spain have a throw in the middle of the Morocco half. They take it quickly. Dani Olmo back to Rodri inside the centre circle. Forward now towards Gavi, out wide to the near side, and Ferran Torres. He hits it early towards Asensio, smuggled away by Agard. Now Morocco, can they break? It's played back to Amrabat, and Amrabat on the turn, steers it to the feet of Saiss, and Bono, the goalkeeper, with a first-time ball out to the left-back position, and Mazraoui. And Morocco confident in possession. Just as I say that, though, Saiss has given it straight to Llorente. His pass in field towards Gavi, who was blocked off by Amrabat. It's a little scrappy at the moment, and eventually Morocco win a throw in the left-back position. But there is no question the Atlas Lions are not overwrought by the chance, the opportunity to take on the 2010 World Cup winners. It's 0-0.
Yeah, Mazraoui done really well in the left-back position for Morocco. Made a great tackle. They're making sure that players like Gavi can't get on the ball and dictate the place of play.
And he was very pointed in his pre-match comments, was Walid Regragui, the Morocco head coach. We have to dare to dream, he said, and also called it the most important game in the lives of his Morocco players. Amrabat takes a possession midway inside his own half in front of that back four, as he so often diligently sits. A bobbled back pass to the goalkeeper by Saiss. The clearance by Bono, who feeds Mazraoui in the left back spot. Mazraoui near side of the field, right in front of the Spain dugout, hassled and harried by Ferran Torres. Spain with a throw and they win back possession, but they go backwards with it to the halfway line. A relatively uneventful first 17 and a half minutes, and neither goalkeeper has had a save to make as yet.
Well, I just say to Hugh, before the game started, they'll size each other up, and that's exactly what they've done so far, both teams. I mean, they're very solid, Morocco, in the middle of the pitch with Amrabat and Amoula. A really strong, no-nonsense tackling.
Ball lofted high down the Spain left, but it's through to Bono inside the penalty area. Jordi Alba had made that trademark run downfield, and Laporte looked to thread it forward inside left channel, but far too much on it for Jordi Alba. Bono bowls the ball out, overarm towards the near side. Mazraoui completely miscontrols on a pitch that, as I say, like many venues at this World Cup, has proven to be far from perfect. Ferran Torres to deliver from the right, high to the edge of the penalty area, it misses everybody, and it's collected by Ziyech, who'll play it back to Hakimi. Forward towards Ziyech over halfway. Laporte there to make the interception for Spain. Morocco 0, Spain 0, and the referee spotted a foul on that far side of the field on Salim Amala, who was drafted into the side tonight. And Morocco have a free kick. They've kept a very settled team, have only made 3 changes across the whole of the World Cup so far. Back it goes to goalkeeper Bono again. His first time left-footed clearance, drops midway into his own half. Rodri with a towering header. It's squeezed into the path of Gavi, who can't get beyond the tackle of Unahi. Gavi puts his head in where it hurts. A diving headed interception almost to knock it back to Llorente. And then there's a foul on the halfway line by Pedri. As Spain, as we expect, at Tony Cascarino, continue to dominate possession. I don't know how much Morocco will be concerned about that though at the moment, because Spain are not really threatening.
No, they're not. But the two in midfield are really pushing hard. They won't let Pedri or Busquets, and certainly Gavi, settle on the ball. They're prepared to make tackles, press really high and quick.
Into the 20th minute. Gavi tries to put it forward down the right side channel, but it's intercepted by Unahi. Quick feet from Boufal. Escapes a couple of sky blue shirts. Floats a high crossfield ball towards the right, but Jordi Alba is there to head away. Up to the halfway line. Retrieved by Hakimi. Now Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech darts away from the run of Pedri. Sets up Hakimi on the overlap. Hakimi taking on Jordi Alba. Down by the corner flag. Can't quite get the cross in. Pedri back to help. Hakimi hooks in the delivery anyway. And it's headed away by Aymeric Laporte. It was aimed at Youssef En-Nesyri. Understandably so. And then Amrabat is caught late by Dani Olmo. A clumsy late challenge right in front of the referee from Argentina, Rapellini. And Morocco have a free kick just inside the Spain half.
Yeah, no complaints there. Dani Olmo jumps early, then challenges Amrabat, gives away a free kick in a decent area.
These two sides who do have World Cup form before, they met in the group stages in 2018. It finished 2-2. And Morocco, who finished bottom of that group in the end, and Spain once again unable to make it past the last 16. Ziyech to deliver, left-footed, an early ball, headed away by Dani Olmo. And now it's with Mazraoui with the black boots on the halfway line. A little bit of ankle tape on the Bayern Munich defender, who moved to the Bundesliga club from Ajax in the summer. And back it goes to Bono again, forward to the number 5 Agard. And a square pass to Amrabat, who will look to strive forward up towards the halfway line. Angles the ball to the left wing position, and Boufal, who's got beyond Llorente with ease, left in for dead. En-Nesyri in the middle, his little flick to the far post, and Ziyech will bring it down on his left foot. Thought about hitting it on the volley, blocked off by Dani Olmo, and then his attempted cross is blocked. Ziyech. It'll be a throw to Morocco down by the dead ball line, far side their right. 0-0 the score, live on Talk Sport.
Well, great play there. Boufal takes on Llorente on the left side, gets past him, couple of dummies, gets it on his left foot, puts in a great ball into the heart of the 18-yard box, gets a little flick on, and it ends up coming. And Ziyech, he loves to hit things first time. He decides to take a touch. I think it's a wrong option. If he hits it first time, he's well capable of getting a decent strike in.
Morocco fans hopping up and down almost deliriously in the stands. Their support has been a tremendous feature of this World Cup, and they dare to dream of yet more success and maybe history tonight at the Education City Stadium. Now Ziyech forward towards Hakimi, far side the right. Laporte the favourite, and he comes across, and the Spain centre-half hammers it into touch. I think with a quarter of the game gone, Morocco, to me, Tony Cascarino, have looked the more potentially incisive of the two teams.
Yeah, and I would say the two wide players, Hakimi and Boufal, look like they can do something. They've shown a lot of willingness to get forward, even though they're out wide and not sometimes starting from a deep position. They're prepared to get at the wide players from Spain.
There's one Morocco player, Morocco fan rather, he's not even watching the game. He's standing at the front of the stand behind the goal, and like a conductor, he's orchestrating the crowd.
I'll just let you know, Joe, that's quite common in Europe. A lot of the fans, they have their back to the play, and they're the leaders of certain groups, and they want to be the conductor, like you just said.
He is the ultra to end ultras, it feels like. We've seen that across many of these matches, haven't we? We saw it at the Argentina game as well recently against Australia. Well, there's a free kick to Morocco here. Boufal has gone down, clutching his lower back, and that's a concerning sight for Morocco, given that Boufal has now started all 4 matches of the tournament so far. Sergio Busquets leads the Spain protestations. It was Busquets with the challenge. There didn't seem to be a heck of a lot in it, I have to say. Boufal actually slipped awkwardly. It was a foul, but not a particularly poor challenge on Sofiane Boufal. I think the referee just making that point. Morocco will definitely have a free kick. It has not been a game, and certainly which has produced a flurry of clear-cut chances so far. That is, to say the very least. And Luis Enrique just giving some instructions to Ferran Torres. It remains Morocco 0, Spain 0 if you're just joining us. The winners of this match will play the winner of the game between Portugal and Switzerland to come later on. And Bono, the goalkeeper, clears to find Mazraoui in the left-back spot.
Well, we said before the game that this could be a real tight affair. That's proved to be the case so far. Not much given.
Cross into the penalty area for Ferran Torres. He lays it back, and the ball off the woodwork, and then Ferran Torres is blocked off by Amrabat. It wouldn't have counted though. The offside flag goes up straight away as Bono breathes a sigh of relief. Again, the goalkeeper's distribution was not good. Whipped straight into the penalty area towards Ferran Torres, who was miles offside. He laid it back to Gavi, whose effort was deflected by Bono. A brilliant save, you have to say, onto the woodwork. And then Ferran Torres steered the rebound over the top via the tackle of Amrabat. Well, you have to say the goalkeeper from zero to hero there, although ultimately it wouldn't have counted, Tony.
No, it wouldn't have, but I wasn't sure why Bono tried to play it to Aguirre, who then decides to do a dummy and let it go, and I think that caused the problem. They can't get away with it because obviously Torres was standing yards offside.
Almost extraordinary scenes there, and almost a gift from the goalkeeper to Spain. Morocco get away with it though, and it is still 0-0. Long ball downfield, Asensio, the flag has stayed down, and he shoots into the side netting. Tight angle for Marco Asensio, has only scored twice for Spain, albeit his second goal for the national side did come on match day 1. He timed his run perfectly to beat the floated pass from Jordi Alba. First touch wasn't great though, and he lashed it into the side netting. 0-0.
Well, terrific ball from Jordi Alba, and it's one of them where the striker's just read it perfectly and broke the offside trap, and he's got him behind. It's on his left foot, and he's a very quick player, Asensio. He strikes it, but it hits the side netting just at a slight angle. I think he could have done better and got it on target.
Marco Asensio, close but not close enough for Spain, who are having a good spell here. He's wrestled to the ground in the centre circle, wants to take the free kick quickly. It was Roman Saiz with the challenge. The referee doesn't allow Spain to get on with the game speedily. Instead will pull it back, and that allows Morocco to get those green and red shirts back behind the ball. Boos and whistles from the Morocco supporters. It's with Laporte, square to Rodri, halfway line. Now Marcos Llorente feeds Gavi, gets it back. Llorente with a square pass to Laporte again in that centre circle. Gets support to his left from Pedri. Pedri playing deep, forward to Asensio, and now Dani Olmo back towards Pedri again. Was it whipped off his toes by Unahi it was. It's a Spain throw. And Morocco look a little nervy for the first time in the game. Nearly 28 minutes into it, and Spain are starting to really dominate here. And can they continue, though, to carve out chances? That's the question for them. And it's still 0-0 as we watch Luis Enrique patrolling his touchline on the near side.
Well, again, dominated possession, Spain. The whole of the Moroccan team are literally the furthest up the field is the halfway of their half. So I just can't see how Morocco are going to get Sonali up front for them into the game, because the only threats are coming out wide and he feels very isolated in that central position.
Jordi Alba far side the left wing, early ball towards Dani Olmo, and it loops off the boot of the captain Romain Saiz and drops into the grateful gloves of the goalkeeper Bono.
Well, they're pretty solid with Saiz, and again the goalkeeper makes a dreadful kick out.
Right up the middle. Fortunately for him, it travelled all the way towards the halfway line. Certainly a nervousness about Bono with his feet. Unahi is fouled. Morocco free kick 5 yards shy of the halfway line. Well, we have seen a couple of cagey last 16 ties so far. We saw that with Japan and Croatia yesterday. In fact, Tony Pasquarino, you were at that game. And cagey, I think, is the word to describe this one up to this point. And Spain look the more likely at the moment. And again, a poor clearance from Bono up to the halfway line, and Spain will win a free kick. I think that Boufal was coming back from an offside position, but suddenly those Morocco fans, Tony, aren't quite as energetic as they were at the start of the match.
No, they're not as bullish. They shouldn't be too concerned. You know, there's been only the odd chance, one from Marco Asensio, and that's been about it. I think one thing that they will be a little worried about would be their goalkeeper, who's 2 or 3 occasions been a little bit negative with his passing.
Saiz travelling over the halfway line, ball down the inside left channel, and Rodri's there to send it back to goalkeeper Unai Simon. Youssef En-Nesyri was chasing it. He spent the entirety of his playing career in Spain, actually, En-Nesyri. He currently plays his football with Sevilla. Here is Busquets on the halfway line. Now Rodri. A square pass to Laporte. Spain will build again, but can they really produce a potent threat? Good run by Gavi inside left channel. Pedri rather looked to nudge it infield to Dani Olmo, and Dani Olmo holds up play midway inside the Morocco half. It's now with Rodri. We've had over half an hour of this last 16 tie at the World Cup, live on Talk Sports, wall-to-wall coverage, every game live, and from now up to and including the final on the 18th of December. Rodri square ball to Laporte, just to the left of the centre circle now, and it's almost like a chess match at the moment, because there is very little space for Spain to work with here. Morocco tactically are playing very deep, very little pockets for Spain to play into, which the two sides will break first, as Saiz sends it back to goalkeeper Bono again, and he clears long upfield. Gavi went down for Spain in the build-up to that failed attack, and Rodri penalised for a foul on Youssef En-Nesyri, and Morocco defend relatively comfortably again. They have a free kick on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. Rodri pushes En-Nesyri in the back. I think the referee's called that spot on.
And Luis Enrique is screaming at the referee from Argentina. It won't change his decision though, and En-Nesyri tried to shoot from the edge of the box. It was blocked by Rodri. Now Sofiane Boufal, infield from the left wing position, rolls a pass square, intercepted and cleared by Pedri. It's come back to Mazraoui though, and neither goalkeeper has had a serious save to make. There was that one save made by Bono to deny Gavi, but the offside flag was up anyway. Now Hakimi, just inside the Spain half on that far side. Lots of red shirts sitting in the stands behind Ziyech as he tears forward. Jordi Alba gets the tackle in right in front of the assistant referee, and it's a Morocco throw right down by the corner flag. Ziyech will leave it for Hakimi to come forward and take. He's got Unahi square Amrabat is there as well. Unahi tries to hold it up. It's smuggled away by Jordi Alba. Picked up by Ferran Torres. Runs into Mazraoui. Mazraoui goes for goal, and it's spilled by the goalkeeper Unai Simon. But then he pounces on the loose ball ahead of En-Nesyri. That's the first effort on target of the game. 0-0 the score. Morocco against Spain. 32 and a half minutes gone.
Well, a decent opportunity there. I've got to say, I'd want to shoot this goalkeeper, Simon. He doesn't look like he can hold onto any efforts with any conviction.
Forward by Jordi Alba. Asensio can't control. Looking to dart through the middle, and it's easy for Bono, the goalkeeper, to take. Well, Morocco proving again that despite not having most of the ball, they have carved out two half chances, and Mazraoui's effort saved by the goalkeeper. Earlier there was the free kick for Hakimi, not too far over the top. The two sides in their own way, contrasting styles, Tony Cascarino, former Ireland striker, alongside me, but evenly matched, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it looks from this, it's going to be, if it's going to be won this game, it's going to be won by the odd goal and no more. They really are evenly matched, although Spain are dominating the ball with possession.
And here is Ferran Torres in the penalty area to chip it high, deep to the far post. Gavi trying to get underneath it, headed away to Dani Olmo, and Dani Olmo crowded out by red shirts. It's come back to Busquets though. Spain are on the attack again. Busquets gives it away. Mazraoui nudges it forward to Sofiane Boufal. Crossfield from the halfway line, a deep ball, and he's mishit that Boufal. I think he was looking for the run of Ziyech on the right-hand channel, but it's comfortably back to goalkeeper Simon, and Spain can build an attack.
Yeah, on that occasion, Boufal tried a long diagonal pass, mishit it somewhat, trying to get to Ziyech. Again, they're looking to counter really quickly in Morocco.
Here comes Spain with Gavi, 25 yards out, escapes the defender, plays in a left-footed cross, it'll drop to Ferran Torres, far post, angle very tight, twisting and turning, blocked off by Boufal, still got it Ferran Torres, lays it back now to Rodri, 30 yards out, square to Jordi Alba, on to Gavi again, Gavi level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Morocco had everybody in red and green, back behind the ball here. Again, the relentless whistling of the Moroccan supporters. Spain playing from left to right towards the end that houses their fans though, and they're urging Llorente forward. He plays it to the right, the near side, and Ferran Torres. They've got to be more incisive here, Spain. Pedri, edge of the box, lays it square. Aymeric Laporte, brought about a shot, finds Dani Olmo inside the penalty area. Little bit of juggling, headed away, and Unahi flicks it further clear, and Unahi is fouled, and Morocco have a free kick. That rather sums up the first half. It has certainly been a stalemate. It's still 0-0. 10 minutes of the first half to go on TalkSport.
Well, Rodri there is obviously by the coach has been told to move forward into midfield because every Moroccan player is so deep. And we've just seen two centre-halves halfway in the Moroccan half, literally passing to each other, 30 yards beyond the halfway line. So quite clearly when they have the ball, they're trying to get everybody involved in literally the final third of the pitch in Morocco's half.
There's a man wearing a fake lion's mane in the crowd. They are known as the Atlas Lion, of course, Morocco. And they have performed with great bravery and courage throughout the tournament up to this point. Nobody expected them to win their group above Croatia, and Belgium, who were knocked out, and Canada, who finished bottom of that group. Spain with Unai Simon forward towards Busquets. We've seen some great shocks, haven't we, Tony Cascarino, over the course of this World Cup, and you wouldn't necessarily bet against another tonight.
No, we've seen Japan do that to Germany. South Korea have done it to Spain themselves.
And the ball is with Ziyech, 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Yes, nobody expected Spain to struggle through to second in their group after losing to Japan, who went on to win the group but were knocked out by Croatia last night in the last 16. Croatia against Brazil, the first of the World Cup quarter-finals, live this Friday on TalkSport, followed by the Netherlands against Argentina, and then on Saturday France against England, 7 o'clock. Before that, the winners of this play the winners of the game to come later, that is Portugal against Switzerland. There are 8 minutes of the first half to go, plus stoppage time. Rodri Midway inside the Morocco half, faced up by a sea of red and green. Very little space for Spain to work with. Ferran Torres heads for the dead ball line. You have to admire Spain for their perseverance and their unwillingness to compromise on style, and Luis Enrique has certainly stressed that in the build-up to this game. But Morocco are making life very difficult for them. They are stifling Spain.
Yeah, well, we knew this before the start of the game. We talked about how good defensively they were, only given one goal away, and that was an own goal. And tonight it's been difficult for Spain to actually bridge that back four, to take advantage. I think the biggest risk that's been taken has been by the Moroccan goalkeeper, Bono, just being caught on the ball a couple of occasions. But in general play, open play, Morocco have been really comfortable.
Here is Pedri for Spain, forward towards the edge of the D, but Asensio outmuscled, and it's back in Morocco territory with Hakimi. And Amrabat now midway inside his own half of the field. It was Amala who put a good and timely tackle in. Unahi back to Ziyech, scoops it high downfield, and Ziyech and Hakimi have combined well, but this time Ziyech with a lofted left-footed pass that evades the run of Hakimi, swerves out of play via his left boot, and Spain have it with goalkeeper Unai Simon again.
Well, it's a good partnership down the right side for Morocco. Hakimi and Ziyech. Hakimi's the one who wants to sometime gamble and get beyond Ziyech. Does it very well.
Here is Rodri. Squared to Pedri, and forward now to the feet of Ferran Torres, hugging the near side touchline, the right, again in front of that Spain dugout, so only midway inside the Morocco half. Rarely do they get in behind this Morocco backline. Spain inside the first 39 minutes and still 0-0. Here is Gavi though, down by the dead ball line, low cross in, and it's cleared away by Mazraoui, and nobody in sky blue made an instinctive run to the near post. Remember Alvaro Morata among the Spain subs tonight, despite having started the tournament in exceptional fashion really, 3 goals in 3 matches, and it's shuffled forward by Amrabat from the halfway line from Morocco, but that's going nowhere except back towards Rodri, and Spain have possession again, and Morocco a little careless on the ball I think at times.
Yeah, they are, Joe, and interestingly, they've switched. Pedri, who started on the left in the midfield, has switched to the right, and Gavi's gone to the left, so a change of tactics from Spain late in the first half.
Will it prove fruitful for them? The ball is with Jordi Alba, 10 yards into Morocco territory, just chips it across to the right, and Rodri. Now Pedri takes over with the multicoloured boots on. He rolls the pass 20 yards to his left, and Jordi Alba again, all this midway inside the Morocco half. Jordi Alba's ball inside left channel. Hakimi will see it out of play, used his strength in front of Dani Olmo, and almost ended up in the advertising hoardings, but a job done for Hakimi, and it's a goal kick to Morocco. And they have actually protected their goalkeeper Bono very effectively in this first half. And if you're a neutral, I think we have to be honest and say that there's not been much in the game for you up to this point, and of course they will need extra time. We will have extra time or penalties should we need it.
Yep, and so far it's very hard to call. I mean, we all talked before the game of will there be much to choose between these two, and it's quite clear there isn't.
Brought down by Boufal midway inside the Spain half. He was caught, goes down clutching his right ankle. Gavi put the challenge in right in front of the referee. And the free kick rightly given. It was a tackle from behind from Gavi, who actually maybe did get a foot on the ball, but caught the ankle of Boufal in the process.
Well, Gavi there did nick the ball. I think it's a little bit harsh there by the ref.
Morocco with very little angle to produce anything really from this free kick. It's dead centre and in the middle of the Spain half, and Spain holding a high defensive line. They have sent Saiss and Agard forward for this Morocco. Hakim Ziyech over the ball. Unai Simon is probably 8 yards or so off his goal line, the goalkeeper. Ping cross field, the flicked header into the penalty area by Hakimi towards Saiss, only cleared as far as Hakimi again. Hakimi to deliver a great cross, headed away by Busquets. Comes down towards Boufal, twisting, turning, crossing himself, and the header over the top from Agard. What a chance for the centre-half at the far post. It's the closest either team have come so far. The Morocco supporters were ready to celebrate a last 16 goal, but the header whistled a couple of yards over the top, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, great opportunity for Spain there, as the free kick got spread wide and deep, and he eventually came in from the left side, but Agard couldn't get his header directed on target. Quite a tricky one, came in very quickly. Agard.
Much better from Morocco. Amrabat on the ball for them. He's sent it back to Saiz, who had to hurriedly clear under pressure from Ferran Torres, expertly brought down in his chest by Nasseri, and then a crossfield ball by Ziyech out to the near side, and Boufal again. 0-0 the score into the last couple of minutes of normal time in the first half. It's Mazraoui on the overlap, flicking in a high cross. Goalkeeper stays at home, headed back towards Nasseri, cleared away by Rodri, and it was Laporte with the first crucial initial header, and Rodri thumps it over the halfway line. But all of a sudden, Morocco, spurred on by Hakim Ziyech, are looking really dangerous.
Well, Mazraoui done brilliant on the left side, left back, got in beyond as Boufal threaded him through, and he put in a deep cross. Ziyech got a header, just tried to knock it back. Again, good defending by Spain, but the coach for Morocco certainly infused by that.
He's loving it, isn't he, Walid Regragui? And the Morocco fans again now starting to bounce up in the stands, and they've rediscovered that bullishness that they had before the game. 90 seconds of the first half, plus stoppage time to go. Live on Talk Sport, Joe Shannon, the former Ireland striker, Tony Cascarino, your commentary team, and Tony, a veteran of 2 World Cups. And it's ebbed and flowed, the game, hasn't it, really, in this first half? For either team. Yeah, it has, and it's been a really tricky game. To try and predict who's going to win this is nigh on impossible at the moment. Morocco have had their moments towards the end of this first half. Spain have dominated the ball, had one good chance with Marco Asensio, but that's been about it. Spain popping it about neatly again. Here is Ferran Torres driving in field from the right, poking into the penalty area. Asensio, has he got beyond Agard? Here Agard sliding in, just about managed to do enough. The ball is smuggled behind and out of play for the very first corner of the night. On the near side, the Spain right, they take it quickly. Dani Olmo back to the edge of the box. Cross will be swung in here by Pedro with plenty of time to deliver. He's overhit it though. Nobody in sky blue and white anywhere near it, and it goes behind from Morocco goal kick away to the right hand side.
Well, I've not seen anything in this first half to see that across Morocco are going to be underdogs to win the ball, because they've dominated aerially and they've defended in huge numbers. I think Spain are going to have to try and find a little intricate pass just to try and get someone through, because they're certainly not got a threat in the forward positions aerially.
Just a minute of added time in the first half now. We're not used to that.
It took 45 minutes to get a corner, which has been strange, because Spain have had so much of the ball but really done relatively very little with it.
I'd be amazed at Spain's pass completion rate compared to Morocco. I'm sure they've completed far more passes, infinitely more in this first half, yet Morocco have had the game's best opportunity. 30 seconds of the first half to go, and it's Morocco 0, Spain 0. The last 16 of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar on Talk Sport. Every game of this tournament live. Amrabat's in the centre circle, with his touch a bit heavy, it bobbled in front of him. Pitch didn't help him out there really. Busquets nudges it forward. Dani Olmo's got Asensio to his left. Asensio left on edge of the penalty area, back towards Dani Olmo, lets it run, and it's just evaded Ferran Torres, smuggled away by Mazraoui, and that is half time. We expected it to be a tense and cagey affair, and so it has proven to be. Two sides contrasting in terms of their style, but evenly matched on the field here at the Education City Stadium. One good chance for either team. Marco Asensio hitting the side netting for the Spaniards, and Naïef Agard with a header over the top for Morocco towards the end of the first period. Nothing to separate the two. At the break live on Talk Sport, it is Morocco 0, Spain 0. And Spain bidding to do what they haven't done since 2010 and reach a quarter-final. Of course, that year they went on to win the World Cup. Floodlights on at Education City. Morocco will get the second half underway. No changes for either side as far as we can tell. for the start of the second half. Morocco, red shirts, green shorts and red socks from left to right. And for Spain, playing from right to left, a change of kit tonight. Sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks. As Agard pumps the ball high down the middle straight away, and it's through to Unai Simon. So Morocco, Bono in goal, Hakimi, Agard, Saiss and Mazraoui, Unahi, Amrabat and Amala in midfield, Ziyech, Boufal and Enes Neri in attack. And for Spain, Unai Simon is the goalkeeper, Llorente, Rodri, Laporte and Jordi Alba, Gavi, Busquets and Pedri, with Ferran Torres, Dani Olmo and Marco Asensio the front three. It has been a cagey last 16 tie to say the least so far, and neither goalkeeper's had a serious save to make, and both sides only really with the one good chance in the first period. Morocco 0, Spain 0 the score, as Jordi Alba teases it back to Unai Simon. And here's the former Ireland World Cup striker, Tony Cascarino.
Well, it's a very strange kick-off by Morocco, because basically they did a rugby play. They just booted it forward into an area with no intention and literally gave the ball back to Spain.
Well, they have the ferocity of a rugby team, don't they, occasionally when they are defending Morocco. And very difficult to break down, that is for sure. Spain, though, are going to try and pass and probe their way through. The Spanish approach will be the same in this second half. Little touch to Ferran Torres from Llorente. He looked like he was fouled by Noussair Mazraoui. The referee's pointed for a free kick. I'd assume it's gone the way of Spain. He didn't actually initially signal, but it was definitely a tug of the shirt of Ferran Torres by Mazraoui, and this is in a dangerous position for the Spaniards.
Well, it should be a yellow card for Mazraoui there. He's clearly tugged Ferran Torres' shirt. He got nutmegged, and with that has got a decent free kick out wide on the right, just outside the 18-yard box. Decent position for Spain.
Spain, who have now scored over a century of goals at the World Cup. They managed that with Dani Olmo's goal in the 7-0 victory over Costa Rica in their very first game. They haven't won at this tournament so far since then, as the free kick's taken short and then whipped high into the penalty area, headed away bravely by Enes Neri, tracking back the central striker, and a crucial intervention at the near post to nudge that behind for a throw to Spain on the far side there right.
Yeah, good header there by Enes Neri. Defended brilliantly, as you'd expect from a centre forward. Didn't let anyone get across him.
Relentless whistling from the Morocco supporters when their team are not in possession, and Moroccan flags being hurled up into the air at every opportunity too from those jubilant supporters. Really, that is the best way to describe them. They are loving life at the World Cup, and of course they want it to continue. Their first last 16 tie for 36 years, but here comes Spain with Dani Olmo, infield from the left-hand channel, gets it back and threads it towards the edge of the penalty area. Heavy touch from Marco Asensio. The last touch was of Saiss, out of play for another Spain throw on the near side there left. A good start from Spain, purposeful early in the second period, but the score remains deadlocked at 0-0. And Dani Olmo looking to maraud infield from the left. He's blocked off. Unahi finds Ziyech. Ziyech darting up to the halfway line and beyond the halfway line and into Spain territory, streaking forward, look to thread the pass through the middle towards Amala. It's going to be cleared away though by Jordi Alba. Risky ball back to his goalkeeper, who's under pressure, and he just got it away. It's come down to Amrabat. Amala, right hand edge of the penalty area, and it's Busquets with a half tackle. Spain unconvincing there, especially the goalkeeper Unai Simon. In the end they do get a free kick, but he is not averse to a high profile error, you have to say. I mean, maybe you could call it cool, calm and collected, but I think he just got lucky there, Tony Cascarino.
Well, he looked really nervous. He took a touch, it was a bad one. He ended up just shanking it wide and getting out of the danger area, but a good chance there for Morocco.
Got very lucky there, did the Athletic Bilbao goalkeeper, who has very much usurped David De Gea as Spain's number one. And Luis Enrique emphatic that his goalkeepers must be good with their feet. Here is Asensio, left edge of the penalty area, forced towards the corner flag by Saiss, the Morocco captain. Back to Dani Olmo, infield now, Jordi Alba. Spain playing with a little more pace to their possession in the Morocco half. Can they carve out a clear chance? Llorente plays it wide to the right-hand side. Ferran Torres is onside. He's blocked off by Boufal, and then, well, eventually the flag does go up from the assistant referee.
Yeah, again a wasted opportunity by Spain. Did you say that Luis Enrique wants a goalkeeper good with his feet?
Play up from the back.
Well, Simon has done anything but that. He's been Spain's, I'd say probably Morocco's best player with his feet.
Well, he's not looked convincing, has he, so far? But that's the theory behind all of them. Tony, Robert Sanchez and David Raya, who was called up to the squad as well, the Brentford goalkeeper, are both included, look, not just for that, but Luis Enrique has said that is a key trait that he wants from his goalkeepers. And Unai Simon has said that himself. He's not there just to save it, was his quote coming into the tournament. Now here is Rodri for Spain, wearing those Manchester City colours ironically, and playing it square to Laporte, his central defensive partner. Jordi Alba, left back position, forward now to Dani Olmo, just inside the Morocco half, right in front of the watching head coach Walid Regragui, and the free kick given for a foul on Gavi by Hakimi. And Morocco starting to get frustrated with the Argentinian referee, Fernando Rapellini. There's 6 minutes gone in the second half, but at the moment it's difficult to see a breakthrough for either team. And of course, as is always the case in knockout football at the World Cup, extra time and penalties a possibility. We've got Portugal against Switzerland to come in the round of 16. The last such tie later on, live on Talk Sport. Then on Friday, Croatia against Brazil gets the quarterfinals underway. That's followed by the Netherlands against Argentina. And on Saturday, the winner of this game will play the winner of Portugal-Switzerland, and then it'll be followed by France against England. Again, commentary, as with every single game left of this World Cup, will be on Talk Sport. And the stalemate continues here at Education City as Morocco win a free kick. Tony Cascarino.
Yeah, Dani Olmo commits a foul on Hakimi. Well, it's really tough. This game's very scrappy at the moment. There's not much quality. You know, a lot of good footballers out there, but the game is just, they're both getting frustrated with each other.
It's interesting, isn't it? Spain so fluent against Costa Rica in their first group stage game, but found they're going much tougher against Germany and beaten by Japan, and struggling to break down a robust and stubborn Morocco back line. And Morocco do look a threat on the counter-attack. I can see Alvaro Morata among a number of Spain substitutes warming up. And were you a little surprised, Tony, a former striker yourself, that Morata didn't start, given he's scored 3 and 3 in the tournament?
Yeah, look, he's gone for pace, and Marco Asensio's, you know, really quick. I just don't think he's a natural centre forward. And now Morata, who by the way has got a decent goal record, certainly for Spain.
Very decent.
Yeah, I'm surprised in that respect.
Here's Gavi, left wing position for Spain, dasking into the box. Now he was tripped there by Hakimi as he raced towards the edge of the penalty area. That will be a free kick. Well, Hakimi says there was no contact whatsoever.
No, I agree with him. He's put his right leg into Hakimi.
Has Gavi bought that?
Yeah, he's bought it, but he stuck his right leg out to get a free kick. I thought it was quite harsh, but they're trying to get a lot of free kicks, Spain.
And free kick is taken quickly to Pedri, but the referee wants it to be taken again. It is about level with the penalty spot on the near side the Spain left, so towards the near side as we look at it, right in front of many thousands of Moroccan supporters in those red and green shirts behind the goal. And Spain have sent plenty in sky blue forward. 9 minutes into the second half, Morocco 0, Spain 0. And Dani Olmo ruffles his hair, standing over it, and Asensio is with him too. Who will they aim at in the middle? It's flicked to Dani Olmo, who shoots, and it's punched away by Bono. The goalkeeper at the near post, 2 fists to deflect the ball clear. He actually did quite well there, the goalkeeper, because it came through a crowd of bodies.
Yeah, and it was a decent strike by Dani Olmo, but again, not really troubling the keeper, quite comfortable for Bono in goal.
That's the first shot that Bono's had to save in the game. Now then, here come Spain again. Pedri looking to dart forward up the middle. Little flick from Asensio. Very nearly set up Ferran Torres, but it's cleared away by Roman Saiz up towards the halfway line. And again, Morocco content to allow Spain to have plenty of possession.
Well, it is a last 16 game, and both teams are obviously decent sides, you know, to get to this stage. They just seem to have clashed on both styles, and you know, Spain's possession based. Morocco is certainly counter They defend huge numbers and do it very well. And it's ended with a bit of a stalemate so far in this game.
Well, Spain can't seem to find the pace and the incisiveness required. And as you say, Cass, Morocco struggling to build much momentum. When they get the ball, they haven't really produced a counter-attack in the second half so far. And it's still 0-0 10 minutes into the second period. Hakimi controls in his chest, but he's given it away. That was sloppy. Dani Olmo onto it. Dani Olmo edge of the penalty area, and Hakimi came across with the challenge. Referee immediately wagged his finger at Dani Olmo and said, no, you're not getting a free kick for that. And here come Morocco on the counter. Amrabat through the middle. En-Nesyri is flagged offside.
Well, I can't believe the ball that's been played there. Amrabat must know his centre forward's offside. You can say, well, he hasn't looked across his line there.
Here comes Boufal anyway, far side the left, and Mazraoui is on the overlap. En-Nesyri is in the middle. Mazraoui corner of the penalty area, and he's gone down himself, and again the referee says, get up, get on with it. Neither side able to fashion an opportunity when relatively well placed, but I mean, you're right, Tony, and Sofiane Amrabat waited an age when he could have played it through a few seconds earlier, and then En-Nesyri really would have been clear.
Well, it's a ball that a centre-forward would want immediately, not delay on the ball, because the moment he delays, they hold their line. Spain, and did it very well. They've got two centre-halves who both play for Man City. OK, not a natural one in Rodri, but he's very comfortable of holding the line, and it didn't allow En-Nesyri. It just ended up wandering offside. And it was a decent opportunity there.
It's certainly got the crowd going again at Education City. A two-tiered, bowl-shaped stadium that they call the Diamond of the Desert because of the look of the facade on the outside of the stadium. They're all very unique arenas that we've seen at this World Cup. All have their own distinct character. And Noussair Mazraoui has a throw for Morocco on the far side there left. Make no mistake, Morocco are the underdog, surely, because of Spain's history at this tournament, at the World Cup, and a relatively recent history still in terms of winning international tournaments. Remember the back-to-back Euros triumphs in between was sandwiched that World Cup win in 2010. Morocco have never made the quarter-final of a World Cup before, so apart from playing one last 16 tie in 86, this is a pretty uncharted territory for them. Here's foul. And now it's Pedri playing it to the feet of Jordi Alba, and Pedri was clipped by Ziyech, and it will be a free kick to Spain. Doesn't take a rocket scientist really to think, Tony, that one goal would be enough to win this the way this game is going.
Well, I did say after 20 minutes I can only see one goal. If anyone's going to win it in normal time, that's all it's going to take. I don't see many goals at all. They've really, both teams have found it really hard to break each other down. Goalkeepers have had a pretty comfortable night so far, Joe, not really too much. In fact, I'd probably say that they've nearly created their own problems, the keepers.
That's very true. They've not really had to make a serious save either one. Here is Dani Olmo though, left wing position for Spain, and Amrabat comes across to make a block tackle the number 4. Morocco have got a player down inside their own half of the field. Gavi, despite being a diminutive player, is not afraid to put himself into challenges. It was actually momentum that took him into Achraf Hakimi just a moment or so ago. An accidental collision between the two players. Hakimi's back on his feet.
Yeah, well, he's an important figure for Morocco, the right back. Really talented, a lot of pace, but he seems to be okay.
Be fascinated to see which of the two managers makes a change first. Just shy of the hour mark on Talk Sport. Morocco 0, Spain 0. You would think that Luis Enrique is going to have to make an alteration or two here if his side don't score in the next 5 minutes or so. Laporte forward to Jordi Alba. Inside left channel, very little space to work with again. He flicks in a good cross, headed away by Saiss, and dinked in by the head of Busquets, but through it goes to Bono, and those pockets of space utterly invisible and undiscoverable for Spain, and that's a great credit to the shape and the diligence defensively of this Morocco side.
Yeah. If I was Luis Enrique, I'd make a change here. I'd probably certainly bring on Morata, and I'd probably put Marco Asensio out on the right, because I feel Fernan Torres has not been able to get in this game.
You might be able to hear The noise of the Morocco supporters, arms above their heads, clapping and cheering, all in unison, and they're all around the stadium. All four sides have got Morocco fans. Here is Laporte for Spain, an hour gone. Neither team as yet with the breakthrough. Extra time and penalties if we need it. Portugal against Switzerland live from 7 at the World Cup later on. And we spoke about the cagey last 16 ties that we've seen. We've seen some belters too. England beating Senegal and Brazil turning on the star last night. There's a coming together between Dani Olmo and Aguerd that the referee's going to have to deal with. I don't think there was anything in it. I think the Morocco bench leaping out, cast of thousands it looked like, trying to influence the referee, but it was a foul by Aguerd initially on Gavi, and then they all wanted to have their say.
Thought he won the ball, Aguerd. He didn't look like he committed a foul to me. Oh, it's a change.
Is that Carlos Soler who's going to come on for Spain? It is the PSG man and Alvaro Morata, both stripped and ready to come on. Both have been a source of goals for Spain at this tournament. Morata, the 3-3 that we mentioned, and Carlos Soler, who scored a goal off the bench on match day 1. They won't make the change just yet though, Spain. The free kick taken short by Pedri, dead centre midway inside the opposition half. He gets it back from Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba opens up, he's a long way from goal, swings in a deep cross, not a good one, hammered up into the air by Saiz. That's a terrible clearance. Goalkeeper's got to watch that carefully. He punches it clear, didn't get much height on that punch, Bono. Came through a crowd, he got lucky. Ziyech on the counter now for Morocco, and it's Unahi skipping over the halfway line. He's blocked off by the slide tackle of Pedri, and suddenly it's getting a little feisty and energetic down on the touchline. Oh, and is he hurt here? Has he got cramp, maybe, Jordi Alba?
I'm not so sure, Joe. I think he might have pulled his hamstring. He made a last-ditch challenge. Unari pinged the ball, and he was chasing back Jordi Alba. It was a break. Done fantastic to get back into play. I don't know if he's taken a whack on the hamstring or he's actually done something, but he's holding his hamstring.
Well, you're right. It was Pedri who made the block tackle, but earlier in the move, Jordi Alba caught, and he's getting the spray on the, what it looks like his thigh, possibly. Anyway, Jordi Alba being treated, and these are concerning moments for Spain, who have made a double change. Gavi and Asensio going off, and it is a chance for Alvaro Morata and Carlos Soler to come on and really try and influence this game. Morata, who is looking to become only the second Spaniard to score in 4 straight World Cup appearances. The only man to have done that at this point is David Villa, who did it in 2010, that World Cup winning year for Spain. A rare lighter moment from Luis Enrique, who's often a prickly figure with the media. Just a smile for Achraf Hakimi as the two shook hands on the near side touchline. Jordi Alba's gone off. Spain temporarily down to 10, although he's now been waved back on. So whatever the problem was, it looks like it's one that he can overcome relatively easily. And Morata's re-expected, Tony, has gone straight up the middle for Spain.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he took off Asensio. But he is more of a natural centre forward, Alvaro Morata.
Well, he's certainly more of a natural attacking fulcrum through the middle, somebody to aim at. 19 minutes gone in the second half and still 0-0.
He's a bit of a streaky striker, isn't he? You know, sometimes I've certainly watched a lot of him at Chelsea, Morata, and he'd get goals in little batches.
He never cut it at Stamford Bridge, did he, ultimately? There's one game I remember at Arsenal a few years ago where he missed chance after chance after chance, but you said it earlier, his record for Spain is one every other game. 30 goals in 60 caps, which is extremely impressive.
Yeah, very good.
Carlos Soler of Paris Saint-Germain picking the ball up from deep, playing it back to the halfway line, Laporte. And Spain continue to dominate possession, but still, frustratingly for them, finding Morocco a very tough nut to crack. Borders out on the right with Ferran Torres. Early cross headed away by Saiz. Busquets just nudges it towards the right again. And Ferran Torres retreating, holds on to the ball. That's with Laporte just in front of the lip of the centre circle. Pings it high inside right channel. Ferran Torres sliding in to try and meet it, but Mazraoui did enough. They had everybody behind the ball there, Morocco, including the striker, En-Nesyri, which is an almost impossible task really for anybody to try and break through that sort of wall of players, Tony Cascarino.
Yep, it's Boufal's coming off. That's a surprise for Morocco.
He is. He has looked one of their livelier players tonight, the former Southampton man. He does get quite the rapturous ovation as he leaves the field. And it is Abdi Ezalzouli who is going to come on. He plays his football at Barcelona. He's actually on loan at Osasuna for the moment. Gets a big pat on the back and a kiss on the cheek from Boufal as the two players swap places on the field and play. He's just 20 years old, Ezalzouli, and this is just his second ever World Cup appearance.
Well, I was a bit surprised. I know he seems to be limping, Boufal. He's done certainly decent in the first half, not quite so much in the second. It's been a changing game, this one, as the games roll on.
Scooped forward by Dani Olmo, hopefully towards Ferran Torres, headed away. The flick by Unahi to the halfway line. Pedri plays it back to Aymeric Laporte. We are into the final quarter of the 90 minutes in the last 16 time. As things stand, very much heading for extra time. This is a game that cannot be prized open by either team. Spain are the side showing much more intent. And Morocco absolutely playing on the counter-attack. It's almost like they're playing for penalties, Morocco, even at this stage.
Yeah, and he's just replaced Boufal as Ezalzouli, and he's gone in exactly the same position, left of the midfield.
The ball is with Rodri for Spain. To the right-hand side of him, on the far side is Diego Llorente, hugging the touchline. Ferran Torres skips away from Ezalzouli. Can he get beyond Mazraoui? He can't. Mazraoui nudges out a leg and pokes the ball away for a throw. And Ferran Torres will leave it. Llorente takes it.
He's won that battle so far. Mazraoui up against Torres. Can't seem to get past him.
A tense night in the Middle East. Is there some inspiration for Spain on the way? Jordi Alba wins a corner near side their left, and perhaps a set piece in a game as tight as this one. Vice-like tightness to this game. Is there a chance that Spain can break through from the unlikely route of a corner? Dani Olmo takes it short to Carlos Soler. He holds on to the ball. Plays it back now to Pedri. 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Square is Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba back to Pedri. A wall of red shirts in front of him. They work it wide though to Carlos Soler. Back to Pedri again. Spain just waiting for that moment of invitation. Jordi Alba swings in the cross. A poor one. Cleared away. It's come back to Busquets. Now Marcos Llorente. Out to the right-hand side and Ferran Torres. It's that chess-like stake to the match. And nobody wants to make a false move. And no quarter being given or taken in this game whatsoever. But here's Dani Olmo looking for Morata into the penalty area. Angles against him. Agard makes a slide tackle, gets the ball. Cleared away. 0-0 the score on Talk Sport.
Great tackle there. Agard read it perfectly. Morata tried to slip it past him. Great challenge, won the ball. There's a moment just before, Joe, that Carlos Soler, he had the ball and it's given to him on his left foot, and you think, just get the ball into the box, and he decides to go back inside, and it ended up being played in a flat cross. He had the perfect opportunity to get his left foot to it and get it in a decent position in the 18-yard box.
Agard limping slightly after that tackle. Here comes Spain again. It's with Pedri, the diminutive Pedri, darting beyond Amrabat, who somehow managed to wrap his leg around the ball and make a firm but fair challenge. Bono clears away, high upfield into the dark night sky, the goalkeeper. Spain have it back straight away. Tired minds as much as tired legs will maybe come into play for Morocco as much as anything here, Tony Cascarino.
Well, they've put a lot of effort in this game, chasing Spain around the pitch, making sure everybody's in a good position, well placed. They've been very well organised, Morocco, tonight. Spain are getting so frustrated because they just can't find that pass, that one bit of quality to get in behind them.
bank of 4 and then 2 banks of 3 in front of them. Morocco standing firm and saying, can you break us down to Spain? What does Spain have in terms of answers? Again, they're not moving the ball with any great pace at the moment. A lot of it is sideways and backwards, as is the case right now. Rodri square to the right-hand side and Soler. Llorente backwards to Soler, as if to illustrate the point. Morocco sitting very deep. The furthest player forward is En-Nesyri, who is midway inside his own half. Spain continue to stroke the ball from right to left and back and forth and again and again. Still not making any real progress though, Spain. Is it going to take a moment of magic or a clear defensive mistake? You feel that's the sort of territory that we're reaching with this match now. Less than 20 minutes to go. It's very tight and tense. You can hear the whistles from the crowd. It's still 0-0. The ball with Soler. Again midway inside that Morocco half. Well, in a sense, do you admire the patience of Spain, or is it the fact that they aren't moving the ball incisively enough to really carve out a chance?
No. I just think they just can't find a way. Whatever way they try, by hook or by crook, they can't get an opening against Morocco.
Morocco have had 23% of the ball in the second half. Spain 62%, and the rest of it, as they say, at this FIFA World Cup in contest. It's won back by Unani midway inside his own territory, and now the ball taken up by Ziyech with the white boots on. Lays it back to Saiss. Relief in the crowd. They don't have to whistle for a few moments. And now it's with the substitute Ez Al-Zouli. Ez Al-Zouli back to the halfway line. Mazraoui. Unani touches it on towards Amala, but he's blocked off by Rodri, and now there's space here for Spain. Busquets plays it to the right. Ferran Torres immediately blocked off by the slide tackle of Ez Al-Zouli. And everybody on this pitch for Morocco is drilled with exactly the same mentality. It is admirable. Defensively they are playing like lions, and Ziyech has played it up through the middle towards Amala, but he couldn't quite control, and predictably Spain have it back again. Spain, a remarkable stat, Tony. They completed just under 2,500 passes in the group stage of this World Cup. 2,489, their most in a group stage since 1966. It does tell you possession is not everything in football. And in fact, Morata's offside, so that attack will come to an end.
Yeah.
It's hard to compute that, isn't it?
2,500
in the group stages, and they got 4 points in 3 games.
I don't think I've done that in my career of 18 years.
It's baffling, isn't it?
Well,
and look, do they look like winning this game?
No, nobody does. Absolutely, they're both being nullified by each other. And I can't understand why Luis Enrique hasn't changed Ferran Torres on the right. He's had a really hard night, and he hasn't really got the better of his defender up against him on one occasion. I think, Mazraoui was just stopped him every time.
Nico Williams ready to come on for Spain. Dreadful crossfield ball from Hakim Ziyech, by the way. Intercepted by Llorente with ease. Spain have it on the halfway line. Jordi Alba. It's, in terms of World Cup matches at this World Cup, very few have been lacking in clear-cut chances as this one has. Bono, the goalkeeper, with a clearance right-footed upfield, miscontrolled by Ziyech, prodded up towards the halfway line by Amrabat, won back by Rodri. Very little quality, if any, in the attacking third from both teams. Pedri with mud all over the back of his shirt. Plays it square to Rodri. The playing surface is not perfect, but that's no excuse really to the talent on the field. Spain again ponderous and one-paced in possession. Laporte, square to Pedri. Out to the near side, that sort of almost monotonous pass with a wall of red in front of them. No way they can break through at the moment. The Morocco defence seems to have a watertight seal on it. It's with Jordi Alba. Infield, lovely turn by Dani Olmo. Caught by Amrabat, no. Referee says play on. It's come back to Pedri. He goes cross-field. Space for Ferran Torres. Right-hand edge of the penalty area. Noussair Mazraoui makes the tackle and will chip it clear. Given straight back to Spain by Ez Al-Zouli. How many times has Spain won the ball back within the first 5 to 10 seconds of conceding possession tonight. Ferran Torres far side the right, can't reach that diagonal ball. Mazraoui gets the better of him again. Mazraoui's gone down. Has he overstretched himself here? 15 minutes to go. Morocco 0, Spain 0 live on TalkSport. Portugal against Switzerland to come later on.
Mazraoui again, he's gone down, but he's intercepted everything on that right side. Just seen an image of Omar going to ground. No penalty there, that's for sure.
Nico Williams has come on for Spain. Ferran Torres is the man replaced, and that's another surprising change, like for like. Nico Williams of Athletic Bilbao. He did start match day 3 of the group stages against Japan. Busquets has got away from 2 in red. He can't put it forward towards Morata though, and El Nasseri held on to it for a long time there, got it back to Hakimi.
Well, Hakimi has been a really good player for Morocco. He's just such a talented defender with loads of pace, keeps the ball well. Unfortunately, he hasn't been given too much help as the game wore on.
First yellow card for Aymeric Laporte, a foul on Hakimi right in front of the referee. And Fernando Rapalini producing the card for the first time. There was hardly any contact, although Laporte's boot was raised and he must have just skimmed the edge of the toes of Achraf Hakimi.
Well, he's just caught his toes. I sort of chuckle to myself as I say that, because, you know, is it
he needs to throw himself to ground?
Well, is it a yellow card? No. You know, okay, you can give a foul. It just catches him on the toe and they can be quite painful. Really, a yellow card for that?
Not been that kind of game, has it?
No, not at all. There's been a lot of commitment from both teams, prepared to cover every blade of grass on the pitch tonight.
It's had the emotional intensity of a knockout game, hasn't it? But it's not had the quality and the physical energy of a knockout game. Or certainly the incisiveness in attack, the pace in attack. But certainly Spain, you felt coming into the match, it really promised. It will be settled tonight either way, whichever way is required. 13 minutes of normal time to go, but extra time coming our way as things stand live on TalkSport. We saw it go all the way to penalties between Japan and Croatia last night. Here is Jordi Alba, 10 yards into opposition territory, back to the halfway line, and Pedri. The forward ball only half cleared. It's come back to Morata. Out to the near side now. Jordi Alba crosses in low, headed away by Agard. A diving header, and the shot over the top on the volley by Dani Olmo after a miscued clearance from Amala is miles wide.
Well, Dani Olmo there, and bounced on his right foot, and he's hit it first time, and he's shot like it was a clearance. It's literally gone straight into the crowd, 30 yards wide of the goal. Just the quality in the final area has been so poor. The Spanish team have got loads of good technical players, likewise the Moroccans. Can't think of a single opportunity by either goalkeeper tonight, certainly in the second half, of making one real big save for their team.
Well, both goalkeepers had one save to make, and both of them were absolutely routine. Simon first half, and Bono punching away that effort early in the second. And really, the two chances, the best chances that we've had, Asensio firing wide in the first half, he's gone off, and Agard with a header for Morocco.
Well, Rodri's on the ball now, he's played centre-half. I don't think he's given a pass away tonight. Can't even think of one where he's lost possession.
Must be near enough. 100% completion for Rodri in terms of the passes. Here he is on the halfway line again. I mean, most of them have been 5-6 yard balls left or right. Nico Williams darting down the far side for Spain. Can he try and produce a cross? Gets to the dead ball line. Drills it in low. Dani Olmo is there. What a tackle by Agard. First moments of quality finally on the attack. What a ball in from Nico Williams. And Dani Olmo just beaten to it by the slide of Agard.
Well, for the first time tonight, he's been beaten. Nico Williams gets in a decent cross, whips it in. But I've got to say, Mazraoui, if they're beaten for the first time, something Ferran Torres couldn't do. Well, it's got to nearly the 80-minute mark, and that's the first time we've seen anybody get past him.
Walid Chedira is going to come on for Morocco, ready to go in that red and green kit on the near side touchline. The Morocco dugout just to the left as we're looking at it, and Spain playing from right to left in a second half that has proven very nervy for all the spectators. Dink forward by Busquets into the penalty area. Llorente trying to hook it back in, and it's blocked off by his opposite number, Roman Saiz, the Morocco skipper. And with 10 minutes to go, our Spain finally turning up the heat here a little. Still 0-0.
Well, good play there. Llorente pushed forward, got himself into the 18-yard box, deep on the far end towards the Spain goal. But I've got to say, really good challenge by Diaz.
Here is Pedri, 15 yards from the edge of the penalty area, square to Jordi Alba. Thought about shooting, swings in a deep cross, headed away by Mazraoui. Drops the edge of the penalty area. Ezalzouli flicked it further clear for Morocco. It's come back to Jordi Alba though in the centre circle. And Spain are having the better of it, but can they carve out maybe that one chance they need? If they do get it, they'll have to take it. It's with Jordi Alba again. He was playing like a central midfielder. Now for Pedri, number 26. Square ball to Rodri on the edge of the centre circle. A crossfield pass chested down by Nico Williams, who immediately darts infield with good pace and fleet-footed and threading it in towards Morata. The angle tight, right across the face of goal. Morata with really an impossible angle to work with there. He was never going to beat Bono, and nobody in sky blue really read it and made a run into the 6-yard box.
Well, great run by Morata. Nico Williams run inside, cut inside. Haven't really seen that at all from that right side tonight. But I've got to say, he's never scoring Morata there. His shot, it was such an acute angle, it's nearly on the byline, and he shot across the face of the goal.
It was almost physically impossible, wasn't it,
yeah,
to score that. Oh, 3 changes for Morocco. Amala, En-Nesyri and Mazraoui all leaving the field. So a triple change. Chedira, Abdelhamid Sabiri and Yaya Atiatala all coming onto the field. And maybe just a sign that despite their heroic efforts in this game, really, there are 1 or 2 tired legs in this Morocco team, and in fact Agard has gone down, and that's a real concern for them, Tony Cascarino.
Yeah, well, it's a bit similar to what happened in the Japan game against Croatia last night. As we got to close to the final whistle, Japan players were changing, some going down with injuries, and Morocco likewise. They've had a number of players tonight putting a lot of effort, and certainly Agard would be a big loss to them because he's played really well tonight for Morocco at the heart of the defence. He seems to be carrying an injury, and Morata senses he can take advantage of it.
Well, West Ham fans haven't seen much of Nayef Agard, but he has been outstanding throughout this tournament for Morocco. He needed surgery and an ankle injury coming into the start of the season, did Agard. Took a long time to make his debut. I wonder, is he about to come off here? Because Jawad El Yamik is ready to come on. He's a centre-half, the backup centre-half for Morocco. And might this be the end for Agard? They hope it's not the end of his tournament, but that all depends on whether Morocco can pull off something here and get themselves into the quarter-finals. It's 0-0, and he looks desperately disappointed. Is he in tears here, Agard? I think he might be. He's shaking his head. That is such a sad moment for a player who's played so well. You can tell that it's a bad injury, and is he going to have to be helped onto a stretcher? He is. The stretcher's been called for. He's going to limp to his feet. Maybe he won't need it to actually go off, but Tony Cascarino, you know what it's like to have a World Cup disrupted by injury, and that is such a sad moment, because even if they get through, he's clearly worried that he might not be playing any more football at this tournament, Agard.
Yeah, and he's played really well tonight. Really stopped it. Certainly gave Asensio no change. But the last 5 or 10 minutes, you can tell Morata has got the other side of him, and he's been holding his left leg, and he's now left the pitch. Big blow for Morocco. Obviously devastated, Joe, you know.
It's a real shame for Agard. It means there will be quite a bit of second half stoppage time. We've got 5.5 minutes of normal time to go in this last 16 tie at the World Cup. Still 0-0. It's lacked intensity in terms of the players on the ball and hasn't really had the feel of a knockout game in many ways. The ball is back with Bono, the Moroccan goalkeeper, and he will clear it long upfield. The loose pass nudged downfield for Spain towards Soler, but hammered away by Roman Saiss up towards Chidera, the lone striker who's just come on. And Saiss plays it square to the near side of the field, and Hakim Ziyech, he's got Hakimi on the overlap. Hakimi tearing forward near side the right. That's a brilliant cross, could fall for Chidera, who couldn't really get enough behind the shot after it was nudged back to him by Ezal Zuli. The two subs threatened to combine. What a cross by Hakimi, but no power on Chidera's shot, and in fact I think it was going wide anyway.
Yeah, Chidera, he's trying to swivel and hit it on his right foot. It's a difficult one to get pace behind the effort, and like you said, Joe, it was never even going to get on target. An opportunity we haven't seen Chidera there.
That might be one of the first touches that Unai Simon has had of the ball in the second half. I can hardly remember mentioning his name, the Spanish goalkeeper. It's got the Morocco fans up on their feet again, and the Spanish flags are being waved as well around the stadium. Understandable, there's been a lull in the atmosphere, but the Morocco fans have been, in particular, tremendous throughout the tournament. And there's a man holding up the inevitable replica of the Jules Rimet trophy, glistening gold. Well, if they dare to dream, why not?
Yeah, well, they've made it really difficult for Spain tonight. They just kept battling. I don't know how much they're going to pay the price here, because Morocco are hanging on physically. That's why the coach has made so many changes, put a lot of effort into this match.
And they've certainly played with a lot of spirit and organisation as well. It takes more than just effort to stifle and nullify Spain in the way that they have done. We have played nearly 41 and a half minutes of the second half. Nico Williams looking to dart down the right, but Roman Saiss sliding in with a well-timed, intelligent challenge. It's played back by the substitute Sabiri to the left-back position in Atiat Allah, the new left-back who's just come on for Mazraoui. And it's a throw to Morocco in that left-back position, and Luis Enrique is crouched on his haunches. It doesn't look like he's got much left in terms of the 90 minutes here. We are 3 minutes plus stoppage time away from extra time again at this World Cup. Long ball for Morocco, intercepted by Laporte, who knocks it very high back to the goalkeeper. Simon volleys his clearance only as far as the centre circle of Hakimi. Hakimi now forward to the near side, and Unani back to Unahi on the near side touchline. He's level with the edge of the penalty area, finds Hakimi, back to Unahi, but he can't keep it in play. Just too much on the pass from Ashraf Hakimi. Morocco looked like they were building there, but as so often has been the case in this match, it came to nothing.
Anami there just can't get on the end of it. Weren't the greatest ball from Makiri.
Tired legs, Unahi just couldn't reach it. 2 minutes of normal time to go there. Forward towards Morata by Soler. Goalkeeper stayed at home. Angles tight. Morata's into the penalty area. Here is Williams. Shot is blocked. Almost fell for Morata. And then the flag is up on the far side. And a free kick is given to Morocco, who were opened up there for just a moment. Stays 0-0.
Neco Williams has come on. I've got to say, he's made a difference. And I didn't think it was offside. I thought Morata was clearly on. He gave it back to Neco Williams. I thought he was onside.
Never offside in a million years, was it?
No, he's onside. But one thing Neco Williams has done since he's come on, he's gone round the outside, he's come inside, and it's given a lot of problems to this Moroccan back line.
He's been excellent, Nico Williams, the 20-year-old, whose brother Inaki has played at this World Cup for Ghana, recently made the international switch. Just over a minute to go then of normal time. Extra time is on the way. Morocco fans, it's been such a nerve-shredding watch for them and their Spain counterparts. Lots of people in the crowd look like they're praying. Williams on the halfway line, back to Soler, little flick to Morata. Dani Olmo, he spotted him in space. Left-hand channel was played not too far in front of Dani Olmo though, so he couldn't run onto it with any great pace. Unahi though has fouled Dani Olmo, and it's a free kick to Spain, a yellow card given by the referee, I think to Saiss for something he said, and a free kick to Spain. Dangerous spot, left wing position. Is this their chance?
Well, that was a dive, clearly. Dani Omar. I just can't see how that can be given as a yellow card.
Well, Saiss, I think, thought the same as Tony Cascarino and put his protestations in maybe a less polite manner to the referee, and that's why he's been booked. It's a free kick to Spain right at the end of the 90 minutes in the last 16 of the World Cup. Morocco, of course, have everybody back, and Spain have sent plenty forward. Now they can barely watch the Morocco fans. Some are turning away in the stands. They cannot look. 5 added minutes on TalkSport. Soler and Pedri, the two standing over it. Rodri's up there. I think Laporte is up there too. Morata will be lurking. It's whipped into the far post, and Morata's header over the top. A free header. Angle was against him, but it was miles over the bar.
Well, what a wonderful ball in here. Soler pings it into the far post area. Morata, well, he headed it like he was at Chelsea. He used to do this regularly, and he's a good header of the ball, and he's totally just headed it way over the bar. You know, okay, it wasn't the simplest to score, but certainly can find a colleague in the 18-yard box there.
Pretty inexplicable, really. The angle that bounced off, miles wide.
Yeah, it's certainly far better than that, Morata.
And so it stays goalless. Rodri shepherds it back to the goalkeeper, and he's got to be careful, Simon, and he just cleared it away from the onrushing Ez Al-Zouli. Well, what is he thinking, the goalkeeper? That touch was so heavy, and again he had to just rush his clearance.
Yeah, well, Rodri gave him a tricky ball to deal with, but you'd still think if you're a decent footballing goalkeeper, you can handle that pretty comfortably, and he didn't. His first touch got away from him, and he ends up just blasting it away out of any trouble.
Well, there's a Morocco player who's gone down in apparent agony. El Yamik on the near side touchline after a challenge on the near side by Morata, and knee into the back of the knee. It was the tiniest of contacts. Maybe he fell awkwardly, but not much in that for me.
No, Omani went down and he's got up quite quickly.
Yes, miraculously he's okay to continue, and there'll be a free kick to Morocco on the near side touchline. 2 through 5 added at the end of the 90 minutes, so extra time and maybe penalties on the way for you again, as we brought you spot kicks last night on TalkSport. Right in front of the near side touchline. Ziyech is going to pump this long. Spain have dropped everybody back. It's a great crossfield ball from Ziyech, headed back across goal by Saiss, and Chedira swings and misses, and Sabiri it's straight to the goalkeeper, but there was a foul earlier in the move, and perhaps an offside flag. Either way, Spain free kick, and it wouldn't have counted.
Well, just a tad, I think. Small margins offside there for Morocco. Ziyech, a diagonal ping ball into the far post area.
Spain coming into tonight and scored in their last 24 matches since a goalless group stage draw against Sweden at the Euro 2020 Championships. But they have been held by a stout and determined Morocco. 3 of the 5 added minutes have been played, potentially another half an hour to come. Jordi Alba back to the goalkeeper Simon. Again, the whistles relentless. At the moment, it's hard to see anything but penalties in this game, I have to say, even with potentially half an hour of extra time to come.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. I do think that the introduction of Nico Williams gives Spain a little bit of an edge. It looks like it can make just something happen.
Here is Williams, hugging that far side touchline. Blocked off challenge by Ez Al-Zouli. And Atiat Allah was across to help as well. Back they go to the halfway line. A minute for Morocco to hang on at the end of the 90 minutes here, but Spain's bombardment in terms of possession may yet continue in extra time. Dani Olmo driving in field. Was he fouled by Unahi? He was. Free kick to Spain. Midway inside the Morocco half in a crossing position. This will be the last chance of the 90. 0-0.
Unahi there gives away a bad free kick in not a good spot. An opportunity for Spain to get another cross in. Slight angle. It's midway through in the half of Morocco.
Dani Olmo standing over it. Again, the Morocco fans are gripped by nerves and fear. Spain have got plenty forward for this. will be Dani Olmo to whip it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Bono palms it away brilliantly. It came through a crowd. The goalkeeper had to react, and he did.
Well, this was a case of Olmo. He whips in the ball, just gets left, and it's one of them. It could creep in the far corner, but Bono kept his eyes firmly fixed on the ball and palms it out for a corner,
which is taken high by Soler into the penalty area. Laporte diving header, blocked and nudged away by Saiss. And that is the end of the 5 minutes of added time. Is it the end of the game? Not just yet. It is now. It has finished. After 90 minutes, Morocco 0, Spain 0, and we will go to extra time, and if needed, penalties at Education City. Really, the one chance in the second half came right at the very end. Dani Olmo's delivery, Bono the goalkeeper across to push it away. Nothing can separate these two. Extra time and or penalties will do that. It has finished after 90 minutes on TalkSport in the last 16. Morocco 0, Spain 0. And Spain will get it underway, playing from right to left. First half of extra time. Sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks. Morocco from left to right. Red shirts, green shorts and red socks. And certainly the Morocco 11, very different from the 11 that began the second half, the one that starts this extra time period. I'll just remind you, Bono in goal, Hakimi, El Yamik, Saiss and Atiat Allah now the defenders. Unahi, Amrabat and Sabiri in midfield. Ziyech, Ezalzouli and Chedira the front three. For Spain, Unai Simon, Llorente, Rodri, Laporte, Jordi Alba, Soler, Busquets, Pedri, Dani Olmo, Williams and Morata. And Rodri plays it square to Laporte. He's midway inside his own half of the field, and that pattern of play begins all over again. Spain dominant almost entirely in terms of possession, but can they carve out the chance? And on that occasion, as Dani Olmo looked to dart through the centre, the answer was no. Ziyech hangs one high up the middle. Chedira is going to chase this, and Marcos Llorente, with his socks rolled halfway down his shins, had to be cool and calm and collected, and he was. And he finds Nico Williams on the far side, the Spain right. Two halves of 15 minutes, of course, in extra time. If they still cannot be separated, then we will have a penalty competition at Education City Stadium to decide who makes it through to the World Cup quarter-finals. It is still Morocco 0, Spain 0. Here's Tony Cascarino again.
Well, it's same as. It's going to be Spain dominating the ball. No change there, Joe. We're looking at a team that's going to have the ball, move it around. Can they find this opening?
Well, that is the big question for Luis Enrique, who was passionate and full-throated in that team talk before the start of extra time. Everybody, the technical staff and the subs, all engaged in the huddle before extra time kicked off. And red-faced Enrique as he barked instructions to his players. Spain's 8th period of extra time in their World Cup history. Of course, they famously lifted the trophy through beating the Dutch in extra time in 2010. This is the first time in Morocco's World Cup history that they have contended with extra time. And remember, the last time they were at this stage in a World Cup in the last 16, they were edged out in 1986 by West Germany it was. And they have a throw just inside Spain territory. At what point, Tony Cascarino, do minds start to turn to penalties for the players?
Well, I think it's already turned for Morocco. I think they really, they've set their target in this game to defend really deep. As the games wore on, it became harder for them. I think if Spain can create something, they just haven't found that one moment of quality really to take advantage of some dominant possession.
Well, flashes towards the end of the second half of normal time, but you're right, it just hasn't happened. Even with Morata and Williams onto the field, Morata closes down the challenge of Jawad El Yamik, and it's out of play for a throw to Morocco, and the tireless Hakimi will take it right in front of his head coach Walid Regragui, who must be very proud. A reminder, it's his 7th game in charge of the national side. He was only brought in about 3 months before the tournament began. He said they'd come out swinging and they would give everything on the field. They've certainly done that, Morocco, once again. and they remain so difficult to beat as Ziyech goes down and Spain have a free kick anyway in their left-back position. Morocco have only conceded once in the whole tournament so far.
Yeah. Well, they've defended brilliantly and they've made it really difficult for Spain, and they get the frustration from Spain that they're looking for every opportunity. They've changed formation, they're wide men, loads of substitutes.
Jordi Alba low ball into the box, the flick by Soler away from goal, taken up by Al-Zouli, and now Morocco with Ziyech, that number 7 on the back of his red shirt, plays it back to Amrabat. There must be some very tired limbs among those Morocco players. Amrabat, great ball over the halfway line, flag has stayed down, Chedira is clear, oh, he's tackled by Laporte, and then in the end I think the flag has gone up on the near side.
Well, I'll tell you what a fantastic bit of play. It is offside, but I've got to say, Aymeric Laporte makes a last-ditch challenge to stop En-Nesyri.
What a tackle, he was straining every sinew there, Laporte.
That was a great challenge, and look, it would have been given offside. He didn't know that at the time, did he?
Walid Chedira was clear on goal, couldn't quite bend his run, which is why the flag went up, but ultimately Spain protected Unai Simon there 5 minutes into the first half of extra time, and still scoreless. The whistles relentless from the Morocco supporters raining down almost on the field of play. They have the majority of the support in the stadium. Is that a foul by Saiss on Morata? It was, says the Argentine referee Rapellini, and it's a free kick to Spain midway inside that Morocco half. We're playing towards the Morocco end of the ground, if you like, in this first period, as we drift further into the night in the Qatari desert. It's gone 8 o'clock local time now, and of course just gone 5 where you are. It's with Pedri, square ball to the edge of the centre circle, the lip of it, and Rodri's shirt is untucked now. On to Laporte, back out to the near side, the left of centre position, and Pedri again. Pedri who finds Jordi Alba. Spain again, sideways and backwards, almost a rhythmic motion to these passes. Floated forward by Rodri, headed away. It's come back towards Busquets, who cushions a header to the right wing, taken up by Nico Williams. Where's that incisiveness and that killer ball from Spain? Where's the flair and the moment of ingenuity? Pedri pops it high up the middle, headed away by Saiss. It's come down to Nico Williams. Are they stretching the Morocco back line? Tackle comes in from Sabiri, the substitute, and it's taken up by El Azouli, only temporarily though. And Spain have got it back again with Marcos Llorente. Again it's Williams, level the edge of the penalty area, darts beyond the defender, dead ball line, Dixon the cross, just over the head of Morata. El Yamik heads it away. Well, that would have been perfect for Morata had he been half a foot taller maybe. And in the end it's gone out for a Morocco throw. 0-0 in extra time, 7 minutes of the first half of it gone on Talk Sports.
Well, again Nico Williams just getting to the byline, using his pace, and just a tad too high for Morata, and in the end again a wasted opportunity.
And now a double change for the Spaniards. Dani Olmo is leaving the field, and so too is Jordi Alba, and the 2 Spanish subs coming on. Alejandro Balde will be a straight swap at left back for Jordi Alba, and it's an opportunity again for Ansu Fati, his second substitute appearance of the World Cup. The Barcelona man who has had a lot of injuries. His inclusion was admittedly a gamble from Luis Enrique given his recent injury record, but he's onto the field now, and Spain is still absolutely dominating in terms of possession and territory here, but there is no way through beyond the red and green wall of Morocco, at least not yet. A slide tackle on the halfway line by Rodri, and the ball goes out of play. Morocco throw in their left back position, and Morocco are not really showing any attacking intent whatsoever apart from long balls up to the sub Chedira.
I don't think they've got anything left in the tank. I just think
they're done, aren't they?
They really do look like they're struggling to make any committed attack, and all they do is keep giving the ball back to Spain the moment it goes forward.
Well, I think whatever happens, Portugal and Switzerland will be encouraged by this, not least the amount of legwork that both sides have had to put in. Portugal and Switzerland underway at 7 o'clock on TalkSport. We will bring you the whole of that game live. There's a sufficient gap, of course, to manage that, even if we went all the way to penalties. Forward by Rodri, high up the middle, and Sufati could be in. Cleared away by the head of Hakimi. Well, the 20-year-old was nearly through and he hasn't even touched the ball yet.
Well, Fati got down the middle, and Sufati, a direct ball, so they've gone with two up front, and the left back, Baldi, has come in replacing Alba.
800 passes completed for Spain, made that 801, and now 2 as it's with Pedri. You can keep counting, Tony Cascarino, if you want, because it's backwards and sideways. Here's Morata in the box, angle tight, force wide. Can he get the cross in? He does! Headed away brilliantly, drops to the edge of the box, cleared away by Azalzouli. Well, there was nearly the moment they wanted.
Well, Morata done brilliant there, took it on his right foot, then onto his left and chipped it. 2 or 3 Spanish players were trying to get it on the end of the cross, but got to say, again defended really well by Morocco.
I can tell you Spanish fans will not want penalties. Their record in the World Cup in them is not good. We're into the first half of extra time. Crossing by Llorente, could fall at the far post, and the effort is blocked. Balde, the substitute, who's never scored for Spain, sees his left-footed strike turned away.
Yeah, again, just watching Spain attack, and Balde gets an effort in and gets blocked. Morocco going to do well really to finish this game.
10 minutes into the first half of extra time and it's still 0-0, but Spain are maybe turning the screw here. Morocco visibly starting to wilt and crumble. Pedri's on the edge of the penalty area, couldn't get it beyond Ziyech. There's Al-Zouli, couldn't take it up to counter, and across came Balde to hammer it out of play for a throw.
Yeah, done really well there, Balde. Saw the danger. Left back.
Luis Enrique applauds. He has said that his team performances have been B+ in the tournament, apart from a 15-minute spell against Japan. I wouldn't say they've been B+ in attack tonight, but they have tried their best, and Morocco have been so formidable an object to break through. And it could come through the middle for Azalzouli, but Rodri's across to hook it away. For the umpteenth time, the assistant puts his flag up as well, and Morocco cannot mount any sort of attack whatsoever. They haven't been able to do that really since the half-time whistle went. Morocco, no intent in attack at all. And Spain continue to hold on to the ball with ease, really, and they get it back so quickly if they do concede possession. Pedri has the ball, 11.5 minutes into extra time. It's with Rodri in the centre circle, high up the middle towards Ansu Fati again, and headed away from his own goalkeeper by the defender El Yamik. Lack of communication there, but the loose ball was hammered clear by Saiss nonetheless, and in the end it's a Morocco throw 10 yards shy of halfway.
El Yamik there, done really well. Goalkeeper was coming, he wanted to collect it, but he didn't take any chances. Cleared it. El Yamik.
And it's going to take just one chance for Spain, surely. You would not be surprised to see it. But will it come, is the question. It has hardly come in over, 100 minutes of football now. The ball is back with Aymeric Laporte. We have played 102.5 minutes of this last 16 encounter. It has been far from epic in terms of quality, but it's certainly been absorbing in terms of the sheer physical and emotional intensity that's gone into it from both sets of players. And still the breakthrough yet to be found, still the net yet to ripple. Rodri goes for a goal from range, he slipped as he did so, and it's high over the bar.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating, Rodri. Probably the first time he's given the ball away. Shot from the halfway line nearly. But his effort high and over the bar.
Must be a pretty agonising experience for some of the fans in the stadium at this point. How are you feeling as a player at this stage in the game, Tony Cascarino?
Well, you're running on empty, that's for sure. You know, I was in a 0-0 against Romania in 1990, and just remember getting to the end of the game and then thinking about the penalty shootout.
Tony Cascarino, former Ireland striker, with us tonight. Unahi looking to race through the middle. He's up to the edge of the box. Chidera is through! And it's saved by Simon! What a chance! That was the moment for Walid Chidera to send Morocco fans into ecstasy. And Simon saved it. And now here comes Spain. Pedri over halfway. Blocked off by Unahi. Oh, what a moment for Chidera, and he fluffed his lines.
Out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. As he gets through, he gets put for a nice slip ball, and Chidera gets in front of the goal. He's got the goal at his mercy, and he hits it just as Simon, who saves with his right leg. He had the goal, whole of the right side of the keeper to aim at. Well, Simon hasn't done it, been too good with his feet so far tonight, but certainly was on that occasion. I think it's a golden opportunity. Best chance of the game falls to Morocco in the first period of extra time coming to an end. Oh, Chidera's got to score here.
Simon's best touch with his foot that he's ever had for Spain.
Well, a little bit fortunate maybe, could have gone through his legs. Didn't see even a chance coming from Morocco.
Another 15 seconds of the first half of extra time to go, and it is still Morocco 0, Spain 0, in a game where clear chances have been like gold dust and so few and far between. Hooked away by Saiss over his shoulder. Out of play for a throw to Spain. Deep inside opposition territory. A minute of added time at the end of the first half of extra time. Nobody in the crowd moving a muscle. Most people on their feet at this point. Rodri right of centre. Flicks in a high cross. Ansu Fati far post. He's headed away from him by Ziyech at the expense of a Spain corner. Can Spain strike at the end of the first half of extra time?
Hakim Ziyech, he's kept going all night. Still helping out his fullback, still chasing back.
Carlos Soler standing over it. It'll be a right-footed in-swinging delivery. Soler high to the far post, way too close to Bono, although there are two Spain players down in the penalty area. Is the referee going to say take it again? I think he is going to say take this again. Yeah, false start.
Well, I think there's more of an accidental collision, as you're right, getting retaken.
Three Spain players collided with each other, and they get the fortune of another chance to take the corner at 0-0 in extra time. Last 16 of the World Cup. In by Soler, goalkeeper Kane, punched away through a crowd, hit by Llorente, cleared at the near post by Unahi. Yet more heroic Moroccan defending. The Lions put their bodies on the line again. Morata's down, and he's being helped to his feet by Bono. Morata doesn't want to get up. We've definitely had the minute of added time at the end of the first half of extra time now. I think Bono, in punching it away, collided with Morata, did very well, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, great punch. Yeah, as you're right, just collides into Morata as he punched it away there, Bono.
And that is half-time in extra time. Still nothing to separate the two, but what a chance for Walid Chidera. Will Morocco live to regret that? The second half of extra time and potentially penalties to come. It is still Morocco 0, Spain 0. Well, I must confess to you, I have drawn out my very rudimentary grid for the penalty kicks, should we need it. But there is still hope and potential of something in the second half of extra time. Morocco started from the kick-off from right to left, and Sabiri goes for goal from the halfway line, and of course it's miles over the top.
Well, again, they've done that twice tonight. They've just booted it out of play. They've got the greatest start to the second period of extra time, Joe.
Morocco in red and green, Spain in sky blue and white, and it's a long ball forward from Laporte that almost found Morata darting through the middle. Spain now playing left to right towards the end that houses their supporters. Carlos Soler driving up the middle, Ansu Fati to his left. The touch is poor. How can it so often be so poor in one game from so many players?
Well, I think Carlos Soler has overhit this pass, or maybe just a tad to the left of him. Again, not the greatest from Fati.
Well, you'd have to say on the balance that Spain, for intent, probably deserve it, but then Morocco, what a fantastic defensive rear guard they've shown in now 90 minutes and 16 minutes into extra time. So 14 minutes until penalty kicks, and not a single goal has been scored in the game. as Bono knocks the ball straight out of play. The Moroccan goalkeeper there now playing from right to left again towards the end where their most vocal supporters are housed. It has been an epic in some senses of the word. It's with Rodri in the centre circle. Angled ball to the near side, the right, and it's brought down by Williams back to the halfway line, and Llorente into the path of Rodri. The two sides, well, neither, you'd have to say, will enjoy a penalty shootout based on their past records, if that is to be the case. Spain charging forward with Balde down the left. He can't keep it in play. Morocco have never contested a penalty shootout at the World Cup, but they've been beaten in both their shootouts at the African Cup of Nations, and Spain have lost 3 of their 4 World Cup shootouts. 3 defeats is a jointly held record with England and Italy. Their only win came against Ireland, ironically, Tony Cascarino, I'm sorry to say, in 2002 at Japan's South Korea.
Yes, I know, Joe, and it was probably the worst penalty shootout you've ever seen. It was worse than the Japan-Croatia penalties.
Well, they were not particularly impressive last night, were they?
Did we missed something like 4? I think we missed 4 out of 5.
Yeah, extraordinary. Yeah. As
in we in Ireland.
And just to clarify, Spain win a goal kick, and they'll come forward now with Laporte midway inside his own half of the field. And desperately trying to fight to stay in this game, Morocco. But again, if you're a coach on the touchline, Tony, are you preparing for penalty kicks? Nothing is happening on the field, is it?
Well, it'd have to be in your mindset, because, you know, you're very close to it now, and I'm sure Spain are going to keep trying to find that gap, find that chance. I can't believe that Morocco had that final effort, really, just in the final moments of that first period of extra time. A glorious chance.
3.5 minutes into the second period now. It's knocked downfield by Spain towards the near side, the right. Nico Williams headed away by Atiatala for Morocco. One of the Moroccan players, it was Ez Al-Zouli, careered off the pitch accidentally and ended up in the Spain dugout there. And such has been the incredible effort from these Morocco players to keep Spain at bay. The 2010 World Cup winners come forward again in streams of sky blue and white, attacking the goal to the right hand side, but they cannot force their way beyond the red and green wall of Morocco. Reinforced and almost impossible to breach. Laporte has it left of the centre circle, threads it down the middle, cleared away by El Yamik up into the dark evening sky. We are coming towards 8:30 local time in Doha, the Al Rayyan area of the city, to the west of the centre. And now here is Soler for Spain with the white boots on, forward to Busquets. Not seen him all that much in this game, the long-serving captain. It's with Soler once more, a square ball now to Rodri, middle of the Morocco half, chips it to the left-hand side, well controlled by Ansu Fati. Again, the pattern of the play, typical of the match. Morocco just defending really the edge of their own box, and Spain trying to probe their way through. It's away by Saiss. Oh, he's gone down. Has he hurt his hamstring here, Saiss? It's thundered away by Atiatala up the middle. Laporte with the back header to Unai Simon. Now, Saiss is back on his feet, but he's gone and sat down again, and he's going to struggle to continue and finish this match, I think.
Yeah, well, he's been tremendous tonight. Saiss, I think him and Aga have done really well. They lost one of them. Are they going to lose their second centre-half? Looks like it.
Well, because it's extra time, they can make one more change, Morocco. And Saiss, it was a relatively innocuous clearance, but the strain that his body's been under, not only in the near 120 minutes he's played tonight, but across the tournament so far, maybe just taking its toll. And whatever happens from Morocco, if they get through to the quarter-finals, potentially they'll have to play the rest of this World Cup without their first-choice centre-halves and their captain, who is limping off here.
Well, he's definitely pulled his hamstring. It's just how bad it is. Is it, the fatigue of injury?
Well, I think they're going to try and carry him on here. They're going to bandage up the hamstring. The substitute Badr Benoun is ready to come on. He's a central defender. but they are bandaging up, strapping up the captain, and in a remarkable story, Saiss is going to try and continue. We are nearly halfway through the second half of extra time, and it's still 0-0. Spain and Morocco. Soler for Spain, with Morocco temporarily down to 10. Out to the right, Nico Williams. He controls. Are Morocco going to miss Romain Saiss? It's played back to Soler, and now Rodri. Square to Pedro, who's a long way from goal. Saiss limps back on like a wounded warrior, straight back into position in central defence. Heroic effort, really, although you could question, should he really be coming off? It's floated forward by Busquets to the left-hand side, not back across goal, cleared away, not once but twice. First by Unahi, then by Amrabat. They are literally falling to the ground here, Morocco. They are stumbling towards penalty kicks, and they've still got to survive just under 8 minutes of what will be relentless and painful Spain pressure. Although, as I say that, Nico Williams miscontrols and it's out of play for a Morocco throw.
Well, I understand the idea of Spain and the way they play, but they do overpass. Sometimes it's just relentless. The obvious ball's on all the time with Spain, and they do it, and they, it's not really troubling Morocco.
Well, it's not. And so much of what we've seen from Spain in this game has told you the same story. And now it's on the halfway line again. We will bring you Portugal against Switzerland on Talk Sport later. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff, so in just over an hour and a half's time. But we are heading, as we have been for a long time, towards penalty kicks. And there are 7 minutes of the second half of extra time, plus any stoppages to go. Spain with Unai Simon, the goalkeeper, a virtual spectator again. Rodri's got it midway inside his own half. The number of passes Rodri has played tonight, he must be into the hundreds now on his own.
Absolutely.
He gets it back from Laporte, his club and country teammate, in the centre circle. Even Spain must surely be tiring at this point. No question Morocco are just hanging on for penalty kicks now. Busquets is in the middle of the Morocco half. A crossfield ball with his left foot, but Tony Cascarino, Spain, as the crossfield ball is headed clear, can't unlock that Morocco back line. Ziyech has gone down. Soler trying to come forward. Amrabat gets a tackle in. Amrabat determined as ever, tenacious as ever. As Al-Zouli pokes it over the halfway line. Chidera is in behind Rodri. Chidera into the penalty area. Chidera twisting and turning, but he cannot get the shot away. The goalkeeper pounces on the ball, and Walid Chidera has spurned another golden opportunity.
Well, Chidera there, he just can't get it out of his feet. He tries to get on his left foot and then tries on his right. It allowed Rodri to get back and just make a challenge, but again a really good chance. He's got to hit it earlier.
Rodri couldn't keep up with him. Rodri looks like he's exhausted.
Spain. Loads, Joe, tonight. Loads of players are really hanging on with their... How physically it's affected them in this game.
Pedri's gone down for Spain, and now Hakimi's barged into. Wants a free kick to get it from the referee. Players dropping like flies all around the field of play at the moment. 5 minutes of extra time to go, and it's literally agonising stuff for the players and for the fans. It's emotional torture that they're bracing themselves for here. Morata's ball crossfield to the right. Nico Williams can't keep it in play.
A difficult ball, always running away from him. Or whoever gets through out of this tie, it's going to come at a huge cost for their squad, because so many players look like they're not going to be able to make it for the next round.
That is so important in World Cup football. The quarter-final itself will be played on Saturday, so a few days recovery time, but I think for Morocco in particular, it will, you would think, prove to be a task that is well beyond them, given what they've had to put into this match. And it's not over yet. Penalties on the way on Talk Sport in just over 4 minutes, unless somebody can find a dramatic winner. Bono clears long, the goalkeeper. He might be about to take centre stage in a moment, as will Unai Simon of Spain. Marcos Llorente clears from the right back spot for Spain. A high-hanging ball to the halfway line. Unai Simon, who's made penalty saves for Spain in shootouts before. It's a chance down the left for Morocco. Two players get in each other's way. And Fati can launch a counter. He finds Morata on the halfway line. He's got support right and left. And Fati to the left. Morata goes on, plays it forward, and he just completely mis-executes the pass. Not sure he was thinking there. He delayed, and then overhit, and it's a goal kick, and it's still 0-0.
Well, it came from a mistake by Morocco attacking, and it broke to Morata, and he ran the best part of 30-40 yards, and he's trying to time his pass, and he puts it on his left foot and just overhits it. And Baldi was the player that he tried to thread it to. He's just over it and gives Baldi no chance, and he goes to a goal kick. He's got his head in his hands. Morata there.
That's the voice of Tony. Extra time and penalties, Cascarino. We had it yesterday, didn't we? And it's coming up again. Spain are going to make another substitution in a moment, but Nico Williams looking to dart in behind on the right hand side. He's taking on the defender. He's cut to his right hand side again. He pulls in the cross to the far post and headed behind by Hakimi, right over the top of his own goal. Spain thought they were clear there.
Well, I'm not so sure it didn't go out of play, but it was great run. Obviously, as it gets played in, Nico Williams just crosses it to the far post area. But again, Hakimi has got a great header at the far post. He's got a strapping on his leg as well.
It's just like Japan against Spain. Wants the whole ball out of play. It's inconclusive. It's hard to tell unless you really want to slow it down. How ironic. Spain who were beaten by Japan in part because of the ball being adjudged to have not gone out of play in the build-up to that Japan goal. Changes happening with great frequency in this game. Very late in extra time. 2 minutes to go. 0-0. Morocco are going to wait to make their substitution. Pablo Sarabia is on the field for Spain, and he has come on in place of Nico Williams. So a substitute for Spain. It is still goalless on TalkSport, and in fact I think the ball was adjudged to have gone out of play from that pullback because a goal kick was given to Morocco and Bono has cleared it long downfield. What an extraordinary night at Education City, and it's still not done. Just over a minute left. The Morocco fans are just desperate for the whistle. It's with Soler to the right of centre, just over the halfway line. Have Spain got one last chance left in them here as Llorente tries to swing in the cross, and it's gone behind, and it's a Spain corner at the very end of extra time. Can Morocco hold out for penalties?
Well, again a change just before the corner's being taken.
Unahi goes off the midfield plays, put everything into the game, and I think it is Badr Banoun. It is Banoun, who's a centre back, who's going to come on, and his first task will simply be to head this ball away. Might be the only task he has in regulation play, because there are 20 seconds of extra time to go and penalties are looming. It'll be the left boot of Pablo Sarabia to deliver, headed away at the near post by Chidera, nodded back to the edge of the penalty area. Spain are still alive here. We've just about reached the end of extra time. The ball is on the far side with Ansu Fati. Balde on the overlap, he's blocked off by Hakimi. No counter-attack on here for Morocco. It'll be knocked back by Busquets to the goalkeeper Unai Simon. 3 minutes of added time at the end of extra time.
Longest game ever.
They are stretching and eking out every last drop at this World Cup, and it's been bamboozling this World Cup for so many different reasons. It could still yet reach that sort of status, this game. It probably already has, for sheer drama of intensity alone. The effort of both sets of players. The Morocco players are walking around. They can barely stand up. Can they stand up to one last Spain attack, maybe? Sarabia's got it. Caught on the penalty area. Lays it infield. Sergio Busquets is blocked from the edge of the penalty area. The Spain players out to the dugout. We're ready to run on and celebrate. Morocco clear it. You can almost feel the lead weight in the limbs of these Morocco players, dragging themselves left and right. It has been an heroic effort. For that effort alone, they deserve penalties. Saiss, the skipper, typifying the effort. Still on the field and still limping. Less than 2 minutes of added time at the end of extra time to go. 0-0.
Well, I'm tired holding this microphone with my left arm.
Sarabia crosses, the flicked header, deflected behind.
Wow.
It came off Soler, and El Yamik sliding in to clear the defender.
Well, it gets whipped in, and Soler gets across, just gets a faint head up, but I've got to say, again, defended brilliantly. El Yamik,
he didn't know where it was going. A corner to Spain. Right at the very end, the referee's saying no foul. He won't take any nonsense, the referee. Plenty forward in sky blue. Right at the end of this last 16 tie. Sarabia headed away at the near post by Chidera from the corner. There are still 60 seconds to survive for penalties for Morocco. The crowd are on their feet at Education City. We're on our feet in the commentary box. It's with Pedri for Spain. Forward to Busquets, 30 yards out, thought about shooting, lays it square, Ansu Fati back to Busquets, plays it wide, Rodri's onto it, Rodri to swing it in, Sarabia right across the face of goal.
Wow.
Far post, there was the chance, Spain heads in hands, Sarabia puts it wide.
Oh, Sarabia there, it's on his right foot, the sub, he's only been on a couple of minutes, he's fresh, not quite sure if he's onside, but he doesn't know that, and he's pinged it, and it's hit the bar.
It has hit the outside of the post, kissed the post and gone wide. Unbelievable. Morocco live to fight another minute or so, with penalty kicks looming, and they celebrated, the Morocco fans, that miss like it was a goal, and it brings the end to a most extraordinary 120 minutes of football. 90 minutes and then half an hour of extra time could not separate the two, and two sides who do not enjoy penalty shootouts. Spain, remember, have lost 3 of 4 at the World Cup in their history. Will have a penalty competition to decide who reaches the quarter-finals of the World Cup. Full time at the end of extra time. Morocco 0, Spain 0. The penalties will be taken at the Spain end of the stadium. Those Spanish flags being waved by the Spain supporters. Goalkeepers are arm in arm, arms round each other. Unai Simon and Bono, and Abdelhamid Sabiri will step up first for Morocco. All smiles between the goalkeepers, no sense of the tension that must be gripping everybody else involved. Spain, who, as Hugh mentioned, have had such penalty drama and heartache in the past. Unai Simon, though, saved 2 Swiss penalties in a quarter-final shootout at Euro 2020 that Spain did win. They went on to lose to Italy in the semis on penalty kicks. For Morocco, a moment of history for Abdelhamid Sabiri, because this is their first ever World Cup penalty shootout spot kick. A couple of quick words in the ear from the goalkeeper Bono, and Sabiri will stride forward from 12 yards up against Unai Simon, who's being told to retreat to his line by the referee. Simon in bright yellow. Spain's 5th World Cup penalty shootout, the joint most of any nation. They have lost 3 of their 4. No side has ever lost more than that. Sabiri to start the penalties, right-footed, scores, sends Unai Simon the wrong way, and Morocco are on the board, and the net finally bulges tonight at Education City.
Sabiri inside of his right foot, puts it not in the bottom corner, but wrong foot's the keeper. Simon goes the wrong way.
Perfect start for Morocco. And here comes the man who missed the chance right at the end of extra time for Spain. Pablo Sarabia of Paris Saint-Germain. Bono, the goalkeeper, is crouched on his haunches behind the line. Tall figure Bono plays his football in Spain with Sevilla. He's got that deep purple kit on. short sleeves. Luis Enrique sitting in his position in the dugout. He can barely watch this. The first penalty of the shootout for Spain. Sarabia hands on hips, left-footed, and he hits the post. Spain have missed, and it's advantage Morocco with a kick for either side. The crowd have gone absolutely crazy.
Well, Sarabia, he's hit both posts now. He's hit the right one and the left one. Had a glorious chance, and he's just put his penalty. Left-footed. Keeper reads it the right way. He's hit the post.
Is it going to be another heartbreak story for Spain, who are knocked out on penalties at this stage at Russia 2018? And here comes Hakim Ziyech to put Morocco further in command. This for a 2-0 lead in the penalty shootout. A place in the quarter-finals of a World Cup at stake. Ziyech left-footed, straight down the middle. He scores. And with 2 penalties, Morocco have scored both of them.
Well, Hakim Ziyech, he's got a wonderful left foot, and he opts just straight down the middle, and Simon in goal dives out the way, pings it with pace.
And the Morocco players on the halfway line huddled together, arms round each other, delighted. Pablo Sarabia already disconsolate. Carlos Soler to step up for Spain. What can he do? His club teammate Sarabia has already missed. His country really needs him now. Soler at the World Cup from 12 yards. He will rarely, if ever, faced sporting pressure like this in his life. The Spain fans are right in front of him behind the goal. The Morocco fans to the right. Soler, a slow run, a big save by Bono! Bono stretching out to turn it away! The head coach says calm down. It's anything but calm in the stands. Spain have missed their first 2 penalties, and Morocco 2-0 ahead in the shootout.
Well, Soler has opted for 2 steps, run up, right foot, instep, no pace on the effort, and keeper saves it comfortably. Poor penalty in my eyes. What a chance for Morocco now.
Here comes the sub, Badr Benoun, the central defender, giant central defender, who's got a great goal-scoring record. This to put Morocco 3 clear in the shootout, and then it would then require Spain to score to stay in the World Cup. Benoun, a straight run up, right-footed, saved! Unai Simon to his right-hand side has saved it. Low, it wasn't a good penalty. Too close to the goalkeeper. Spain have a lifeline.
Well, Simon has given him a chance. He reads where Benoun is going to put it. Hits it with his right foot. Again, not much venom in the effort. And Simon makes a save again quite comfortably, shaking his head, Benoun.
Spain with a chance to get back into it. And what a stage for Sergi Busquets, the captain, the survivor of the World Cup win in 2010. A man who knows more than most what it's like to deal with great pressure on the biggest stage of all. Luis Enrique almost nonchalant, his arms folded. Busquets here on his 143rd cap for Spain. Waits for the referee's whistle. They're 2-0 down in the shootout, Spain. Busquets a staggered run-up. It's saved by Bono again! Can you believe it? Bono with one glove to tip it away! And Spain have missed 3 penalties in a row, and Morocco have match point for history.
Well, what is it with these penalty takers? Busquets, experienced, 34 years old, walks up to the ball, side foots it, again with no pace on the effort, and the keeper has read it and gone the right way, and Bono makes another save. I've seen 3 really soft penalties by Spain.
Luis Enrique's eyes are red. He looks on the verge of tears. There may be tears of joy, Moroccan joy to come. Achraf Hakimi places the ball on the spot. If he scores, Morocco are through. Hakimi strides back the number 2. The biggest moment of his sporting life. He takes a big, deep breath. Right-footed. Oh, he has dinked it down the middle. It is Moroccan history. The Atlas Lions roar into the quarterfinals. Hakimi is their diamond in the desert. A Panenka penalty down the middle, away from Unai Simon. They pile on top of him. The celebrations continue. Incredible scenes. It's penalty heartbreak for Spain again. Morocco have done it. Bonu was the hero, the goalkeeper, and Hakimi right at the end, keeping his cool, calm composure to just dink it up the middle. He knew that Unai Simon would commit, and for the first time ever, a World Cup quarter-final will be contested by Morocco. They came out swinging with a winner's attitude, just like their head coach said they would. Spain are out of the World Cup at the last 16 stage again. Morocco have done it. It finished 0-0 after extra time, and Morocco win the penalty shootout by 3-0. The tears of joy are streaming down the faces of Morocco supporters, and Spain are inconsolable.